Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
This week, in Cochranton, Pennsylvania, a seeming love triangle takes a very wrong turn, and the results are an unthinkably brutal murder and one of the most heartless explanations ever. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another wild, crazy edition of Small Town Murder. And wow, do we have just an insane episode. And they've been crazy lately. We've had twins popping up out of nowhere. We've had cookies involved in murder. It's too much. It's just a lot. And today, even more. Quickly before we start, thank you for everything you do for us. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
What's there?
Right now, get all your merchandise there, but especially get your tickets to live shows and the virtual live show.
Oh.
Absolutely. October the 27th, Halloween, baby. Halloween week. It'll be available for 7 days after that as well. You can watch it multiple times, get it whatever day you want, and do whatever you want with it for a week there. Get those tickets right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com or moment.co/smalltownmurder. Either or, come hang out with us wherever you are in the world. We're going to come right to your living room. It's just like a regular live show. It's the same as going to a live show, except
only
instead
so
of
much easier.
Being in a theater, you're going to be in your living room, and you can, get drunk and not have to worry about how you're getting home. So there you go. Do that. And also come to regular live shows as well. We cannot wait. We're in Tampa at the Tampa Improv September 23rd for 2 shows. Those are two different shows. So come to both if you want. And then Orlando, the very next night, September 24th, Orlando Improv, 2 shows that night as well. Get your tickets immediately for those. We're excited to see everybody there. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Patreon.com is something else you need to be aware of here. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all the bonus material here. Everything for $5 or above, whatever you want to do here. You get access to everything we do bonus-wise. Crime and sports bonus, small town murder bonus. You're going to get over 100 episodes in the back catalog and 2 new episodes every other week. This week is no different. You are going to get, first of all, for crime and sports, we're going to continue with Sex Scandals Part 3. We're going to finish up the Duke list, and we're going to head into a couple other weird ones.
We're going to finish?
Some guy's poetry and another guy. It's insane. It was imagine you have an embarrassing affair, and then not only is it in court because there's something comes out of it that's legal matter, but then all of your bad poetry is read aloud in court. We'll talk about
well-documented emotions.
Oh boy. And then for small town murder, we're going to do something very cool. We're going to talk about the crossover between the mafia and serial killers. How many through history of these mafia killer guys that we've discussed before, killer guys, mob guys are actually just serial killers that happen to be in the mafia, and which is a convenient ploy when it can be business too. So we're going to talk about that. There's a bunch of guys that did some really gross stuff here. That is patreon.com/crime and sports, and you'll get a shout out at the end of the show where we will thank you so much for all that you do for us. The disclaimer quickly, it's a comedy show, everybody. We're comedians. Murders are terrible, and these are going to happen, and they're going to be awful, and they seem to get worse all the time. So we're going to keep talking about it, but what we don't do, we go out of our way to try never to do, is we don't make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why is that?
Because we're assholes.
But
we're not scumbags. That's how that works. So if that sounds good to you, then we're going to have a crazy time. If you think that true crime and comedy should never, ever, ever mix, and maybe we're not for you. I don't know. Give it a shot, but no bitching later either way.
There it is.
That said, I think it's time to sit back. Everybody clear the lungs wherever you are in your home. Probably, hopefully not too public of a place. And shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmy.
Let's take a ride.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Let's do that.
All right. Coming from our main episode. By the way, if you're not, listen to Small Town Murder Express on Fridays as well. You should definitely do that. We like to say it's like 10 pounds of dynamite, or 3 pounds of dynamite, 10 pounds of dynamite in a 3-pound bag. That's what we like to say. Holy shit. We don't say it often or we'd have it down better. But
do you really like it?
It's insane. Yeah, you got to check that out. So just a shorter story, but just as nuts. This week, we were in North Carolina for our main episode last week. This week, we're going to Pennsylvania, baby.
Okay.
On up to PA here, northwestern Pennsylvania, Cochranton, PA. Is where we're going to. Cochranton. It's about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Our last few Pennsylvania ones have been in the express we did in Ambridge that's over by Philly, or that's in the middle by Harrisburg, actually, in central Pennsylvania. This one is over in the Pittsburgh area, about an hour and 20 minutes to Pittsburgh, about 6 hours to Philly, all the way across the states.
It's an entirely different world.
Yeah, much closer to Cleveland. You're much more Cleveland than Philly in this area because it's like an hour that direction. And then in about an hour, 15 minutes to Daughtry Township, which was the one we did, episode 253 outside of Pittsburgh. I'm going to give you an idea.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Well, we did an express there as well. That was nuts. The bridge one. That was crazy. This is in Crawford County, area code 814. And this place, very quickly with the history here, because there's a couple of interesting things here. It was made originally, this borough was made up of original land grants of John Adams, the president, and Thomas Cochran, that's who they named the village after, rather than the guy who became president.
Who the fuck is that?
Just a guy, just this dude. It was surveyed by Cochran's son, Joseph, who was the first school teacher here in the 1850s. And the 1870s is when it really swelled to about 800 people, this town, really.
Yeah.
started popping. They got a local newspaper, started going. They had an agricultural fair. They put a water system in, a natural gas system, replaced the wood sidewalks with concrete and brick.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, they put it all together here. And now close by, there's a town called Meadville. And we'll kind of talk about that because it all kind of ties together. These little towns that are close together. You know, if you live here, you work there, it's that sort of thing. They start in Meadville. They had the Talon Company, which makes zippers.
Oh,
so you can make There's a zipper factory.
Yikes.
That was there. Yeah, that was their most crucial industry in this entire area was zipper making. Yeah. Levi's came out with 501 button flies, and they're like, fuck, no. They're putting out.
Not gonna happen. Yeah.
Anti-button fly propaganda. It was crazy. Today, it's not there anymore, obviously. It ended up going bankrupt there. It was bought by Textron Industries in 1968, and then eventually
moved to Taiwan.
The whole thing went bankrupt, and that's how that worked. Meadville, though, they started tool and die shops started coming here, and it became Tool City, they called it, which...
Really?
Yeah, either city full of jerk-offs or they make tools there. That's it.
Tool City. It sounds like a discount tool shop.
It really does. Tool
like
City.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah, $5 or less, all tools. Wrenches that snap when you try to twist something.
Yeah. Your sander stops. Where'd you get that, at Tool City?
What was that, a Tool City? Jesus Christ. Just garbage. So this started, I guess, in 1886. A blacksmith from the area here began hand forging tools and selling them from town to town out of the back of a wagon. Yeah. And that eventually became Champion Bolt and Clipper Company. And now, then after that, in 1904, they changed. 1904, it was a different company, and now it's Channel Lock. That's who that was. Yeah, it was one guy.
Used to be Champion.
Yeah, used to be that. That's how that works there. And
the guy started in the back of a wagon that became Channel Lock.
In 1886. Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty fucking crazy, man. It was the Champion De-Armament Tool Company there, and then it later on became Channel Lock. I guess Sharon.
I mean, even there's a tool that is even like somebody's hand me the channel lock.
The channel lock, yeah.
They're not channel locks. They're not, but
it's
that's
the Q-tip of the tool. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, the Kleenex of tools.
It's a fucking plier, and we're calling it a channel lock.
Absolutely, I know that for a fact. Sharon Stone is from Meadville. Apparently.
No kidding.
Yeah, so there you go. Reviews here.
That everybody loved, yeah?
Yeah, there you go. Reviews here of this town. We're going to talk. We'll do a couple from here, a couple from Cochranton, and then Meadville, too. Okay. 5 stars. This is for Cochranton. This is a lovely rural farming community. The people are very pleasant and helpful. It's a wonderful place to live.
Sure is.
This is rural, by the way. We're talking, Cochranton and outside of there, it's the woods essentially. Yeah, it's just the woods.
Grass rolls out there.
Grass rolls and woods. That's all you're seeing. 3 stars. Cochranton is a small, average town in Pennsylvania. The majority of the population is made up of elderly people. Well, that sounds fun. Although the town is nice, I would like to see more things get updated, renovated. Well, they're happy with it because it's the same shit they've had forever.
That's all they remember, and they love it. Leave it alone.
They're thrilled with it. Many buildings and lots are overgrown and old. Well, so are the people, so that's going to happen. Relax. Calm down. Here's a couple from Meadville. 3 stars. I've lived in this little town all my life, and as the years go on, I can honestly say that I'm disgusted by the young adults that are around here. Disgusted by the young adults. I see very few people with very little respect for anything around them. Well, that means that most of the people have a lot of respect. You just double negatived yourself, ma'am.
Also, give them some time. They'll grow up and become like you.
Kids are shitheads. Again, relax. Old people are grumpy. Kids are shitheads. And in between, we figure it out. That's life. I don't know what to tell you. It makes me ashamed to say I'm from here. My God, disgusted, ashamed. I wish there were better things to do. The activities to do around here are old and tiring. Well, that seems to be a theme. The community needs something new. The roads to drive on suck, but are in the process, a very slow process, of being fixed. I can honestly say that I'm glad that I'm going to have a chance to see a new place and have new opportunities. Apparently they're moving, so they're going to leave behind a bad review. 2 stars. This is fucking hilarious. Very strange vibe, unlike any I've ever lived. A Portland wannabe hipster, old money, nouveau rich, tired old hippies, ultra redneck, angry, uneducated, impatient, coarse, intolerant, and many times impolite simply because they can be cross.
Wow.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That's exhausting.
That's a lot of
every-
adjectives, man. That's
every cliche of every group. So all the asshole. This is asshole town.
I guess they've all been shipped to this one town. The one guy in town no one likes. They all brought him here.
Hippies and hipsters.
No shit. Lots of poverty and a feeling of decline permeates the air, despite lukewarm attempts to counter its post-industrial heritage, and a real freak show can be had for the price of a downtown stroll. My God.
I'm actually rooting for this town.
Now I am. Jesus, this is crazy.
I'm mad at these people.
To include plenty of tweakers, other openly drug-addled and extremely unhealthful appearing folks. Very reckless drivers speeding like mad, endanger pedestrians, and tailgate unlike any place I have experienced for the size of the town. Live near the pet food plant and rejoice in my dog just barfed up his lunch aroma. It smells like dog puke. Corruption, apathy, old boys network. One bright star in this dark and dreary place is Allegheny College, but since it basically owns the town, it greatly impacts tax costs for real estate. Soon to be seen in the rear view. Jesus Christ.
These are well-written,
they're pissed.
educated people that are mad. You know
That's
what
someone
I mean?
who went to the college and fucking hates it.
Everybody's got big words, and they describe things very, very well.
Here's one star. It can't be good. Drugs everywhere. Not much to do without having money to entertain a family. Wages do not work for the cost of living in Meadville area without living in a dump. That's honest. Schools are
pick up some of those drugs, dog.
Yeah, there's apparently a lot of drugs to sell to people. Schools are completely terrible with drugs and bullying, and they make a 6-year-old and older walk to school who live under 2 miles from the school, which have to pass by dive bars full of drunks early in the morning. Don't bother trying to move to this hole in the ground unless you make great money. Okay. 1,063 people here.
Oh.
So small town, way more, almost 55% female. Now the median age is right at an average. So there's a lot of kids and a lot of older people, but most of the people are children and 35 to 44-year-olds. So I don't know what that review was all about. Almost 61% are married, so it's way higher than the average here. Race in this town, 94.7% white. Here, very white, 0.5% black, 1% Asian, 2.3% Hispanic. It's rural Western Pennsylvania. That's what it is. Religion here, 44% religious, so a little under the average, and the most of anybody here is obviously going to be Catholic, because Catholics are, as we know, the Baptists of the North. There we go. 0.0% Jewish, though. That's not happening here.
Really?
In this county, it's very rural. It's just out there. And in this county, in Crawford County, last election, 30.7% voted Democratic, 67.8% Republican, 1.5% Independent. The unemployment rate's a little higher than average in this area here, as a matter of fact. And the median household income, though, is right about normal. It's about $53,000 a year, which is right around the average here. So cost of living is a little below average.
Really?
Yeah, if 100 is regular, here it's 77. So
what? Very affordable. 25% off.
Housing of 42.
Son of a bitch, that's great.
Median home cost $122,400.
Oh, and it's ready for a real estate boom.
Well, you know what, Jimmy? If you're ready to start that boom and be at the front of the line, we have for you the Cochranton, Pennsylvania Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here goes for about $754, so cheap.
Okay,
that's a little over half the national average. Now, I found a 2-bedroom, 1-bath here, 1,068 square foot, little ranch-style house. It doesn't have much. It's a starter house. You buy this, you start out, and you save up for something bigger. Yeah, if you have another kid, it's going to get cramped. If you have more than one, $114,500 though. Not for bad. A livable house that you could, start out in. That's very good. And then here we go. This one, 6-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,544 square foot, built in 1806.
Holy shit.
It's cool. It's like an old, like a big white kind of farmhouse looking.
Victorian style, yeah.
Farmhouse kind of deal.
Okay.
It's very cool.
No pillars and columns?
It's got the two, but not those round ones.
Yeah,
It's got the square pillars. Like it's a farm that's actually holding up the roof. It's not for...
It's not decoration. These are doing work.
Yeah, you need definitely to put a little bit of work into this thing too. It's got to be updated. It's just old. There's some old. It hasn't been renovated. It's on an acre, a little over an acre. $279,000 for that though. That's yeah, exactly.
6'4" and 35. That's incredible.
That's what I mean. Unless it's falling, unless it's like the money pit and the stairs are about to fall down on Tom Hanks and he hangs off the second floor. I think it's fine. Seems like a deal. Which we have weak trees. Here's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. There's no square footage, but it looks like a decent sized house, probably 3,000 square feet. 36 acres it's on though.
Holy shit!
And it's a lot of rolling hills there. It's got the Pittsburgh toilet in the basement.
What is that?
The people have just an open toilet in Western Pennsylvania in their basement. Just an open toilet, sometimes a shower, too. That open toilet is for when the guys would come home filthy from the coal mines or from the steel mill or wherever they were filthy from. They could take a shit down there and take a shower without having to get the whole fucking house filthy. Basically, they take off their gear down there.
Is that a real story?
Absolutely, yeah. The Pittsburgh.
Oh my God!
It's called, look up a Pittsburgh toilet. That's what it is. It's a. You'll just see
an
open basement
you filthy.
without even like a fucking curtain around it. It's just a toilet in the middle of the room. It's in the middle of the room too. Always. That's the weird part. Like just near a pipe. You're like, this is weird.
You go
as fuck.
downstairs with your dirty ass.
Yeah, it's got all of that. $320,000 for that though.
Wow.
So that's real. 36 acres.
36 acres
with a house on it.
Less than what land costs.
With any toilet, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? Any
That's
toilet
impressive.
at all. Things to do, we found. We have the Crawford County Fair. Oh, I love it. We got to do another small town festivals bonus episode. That was a lot of fun. Everybody loved that one.
County fairs are great.
Oh, God, they're fun. This is in Meadville, so it's right there. One of the largest agricultural venues east of the Mississippi River. And this is what they say in the website, possibly the oldest county fair in Pennsylvania.
We don't know. We don't do research.
Possibly. We don't know. I don't know.
How do you know?
Sounds good, right? It might be. Tell your
This one
friends.
started in 1812. How do you know? You weren't there.
It first took place in 1852, apparently. And then in 1946, it became the Crawford, like the renovated, reorganized county fair. They attract a shitload of people here. Typical fair, as they put it.
Yeah.
For all this shit they have.
Rides and all that shit. Yeah.
But they have new stuff. Here's what they have here. A 4-H robotics exposition.
I'm impressed.
Okay.
That's very cool.
A baked goods auction. That's nice.
Okay.
How hungry are you? I imagine that outbidding people for cookies.
Right, driving up the price on the fucking cherry pie.
Fuck you! I want those cookies. Like that's
It's the
wild.
only cherry cobbler. I'll go broke to get it.
Oh my God! Harness racing.
What is that?
It's something to do with horses, I think. I don't know. I think it's a horse sport. Dogs, man.
You
I have
getting
no
a
idea.
horse? You getting a harness and the horse drags you?
Oh, that's when I think that's when you're sitting in like the cart behind, like a chariot. Almost.
Teams of them.
Like
Yeah,
a
but
chariot
you're right.
almost.
Yeah.
Blade sports competition. Are they?
What?
Is that like street knife
Throwing
fighting?
knives? What the fuck? Loser's dead.
Or is that hockey and like it's the only blade sport I can think of. What other sports require any kind of blades whatsoever? A 4-H communications contest. Is that if you can speak to the livestock? Because that's what that would be.
Can you get
I
the
feel like-
cow to move with words?
Whisper in a cow's ear, and then it like sits down and then stands up and lifts one leg and puts it down. You win. There you go. I communicated with the livestock.
If I'm in it, I'm just whispering anything into a pig, and whatever it does, that's what I told him to do.
See, it's shitting. I said take a shit right now. It's pretty impressive. They have midway rides, opening ceremonies, and the crowning of the Fair Queen.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Here we go. For music, Darcy Lynn and Friends. That sounds
And
great.
her friends?
And her friends. She's invited. She's got to have that. There's FFA rabbits judging. Apparently they're going to judge rabbits. A draft horse youth decorating and showmanship. Does that mean that they're going to decorate a draft horse?
Gonna paint it.
This is getting weirder as it goes.
Yeah.
Froggy radio. I don't know what that is.
No
Do
idea.
You?
Do you make the radio at home?
Out of frogs? I don't know. They figured out a way to communicate with, instead of cans, you use frogs. Swifty swine racing pigs.
I'm into that.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Here is Gigi Porter's doing tips and tricks every knitter should know. That's important. Got to have that.
The name sounded familiar right up until it was knitting.
Gigi Porter, wasn't she in she was in that band? Oh, no, she wasn't in a punk band. She's a Western Pennsylvania knitter. That's what she
didn't stomp on a chicken and throw its parts on the audience? No, that's
I don't
not her?
think so. No. At a David Bowie concert in 1982. I don't think that happened. Zerbini Family Circus is there.
Oh.
That's good. A whole family could be wiped out in one sweep here. Pigeon judging. What? This is just getting the fucking weirder and weirder as we go. They were like normal things, and now we're into pigeon judging.
Bring any animal. We'll tell you if it's hot or not.
If it gets me hard, it wins. That's how it works. We got one judge who he just nods his head, and we're like, that's a hot rooster right there, or a hot pigeon. I said rooster because there's also a rooster crowing contest.
And
I assume that's not the roosters crowing. That is humans probably crowing as roosters.
And Peter Pan wins every year.
If you think that's embarrassing, well, you haven't heard about the dairy goat dress-up contest. This is a myth. Okay, this is fucking what is happening here.
Didn't we have that before where they dressed up? What did they put dresses on? Was it pigs?
Something like that.
It was goats, right?
They dress up goats, or do you dress up like a goat? Because that's what I pictured. There's a demonstration called THW. You know what that stands for?
I do not.
The Hillbilly Way. Just a man who's going to show you the Hillbilly Way. This is my cousin. We're going to explain why our love is fine and why it's fine for you too. After the Hillbilly Way comes the rabbit hopping contest. That just seems like a disaster.
That's rabbit races, right? Or are they trying to see how high they can hop?
I guess because they're going to go in all different directions as soon as you let them go, I would imagine. They're not going to follow the lanes or anything.
Run them like the combine?
And then finally,
what their vertical is?
Maybe. I think that's what it is. Get their 40 time. We have the release of beef, dairy, sheep, swine, goats, saddle, and draft horses, rabbits, and poultry. Release them. I don't know if that's into the wild or for sale or what the fuck the deal is, but that place sounds awesome. This county fair sounds like a trip. I got to go there.
It's not bad.
Wow.
They keep them all together and just open the corral and let everybody go at the end.
I'd like to talk about that for about 20 more minutes. That's the sad part. And we can't because we have this murder. But Jesus, that's why we got to do it as another bonus. Crime rate here. What we're interested in this town. Property crime it's low. It's about 20% of the national average. It's like 80% low. It's way low. And then violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime is about 1/4 of the national average. So
this place is so safe.
There's nothing going on. It's rural. It's spread out. How do you kill somebody there? Where are you going? You have to go all the way to their house.
The fair is so long. The next day, it's like the elves at Santa's workshop. You got to start planning for next year. We don't have time to hurt people.
And you're exhausted from judging pigeons. So once you've judged pigeons, that takes a while to recuperate from, you know?
It takes us all year to go catch all the animals back after we've released them.
Yeah. Hopefully by the next one, if we have all the animals back, that's the goal. That way it keeps the town busy, not only at fair time, but all year round.
It keeps them from hurting each other.
It's like an Easter egg hunt. The kids go out looking for dairy sheep or some shit, dairy goats.
Is that a goat? Go get it.
Get it. That's one of them. He's got a little ribbon wrapped around his leg. That said, this weird-ass place, let's talk about a murder, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
Oh, boy. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start out in 2012, so we're not going to go back too far. Pretty modern day. Bouncing all around the time periods. And we're going to go to 2012 here, and we're going to talk about a young lady here named Brandy Stevens Rosine. And or Rosini, I think it was probably because she is a member of the Italian club, so I'm going to say she's Italian, and we would say that's Rosini. So
in Western PA, huh?
Or if they anglicized it, it would be, there's a lot of Italians in
I
Western
know, that's my
Pennsylvania.
point.
Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone had to go to those fucking mines.
Even in a town of 1,000 people, they've got a whole society set up for them.
Remember the mine jokes? We got to stick them down in the mines. Who's greasy enough to get, this hole isn't very wide. We don't want to dig it just in case there's nothing down there. Hey, come here. Hey, Luigi, get over here. He's greasy. Just stuff him down the hole. There we go.
A bottle of olive oil on him.
As a Pietragallo, I can make all those jokes I want, and nobody can complain. So, Brandy, she's born November 30th, 1992. So she's 20 years old in 2012. 19, really, almost 20. She is from northeastern Ohio, but this area is all the same, like we said, with northeastern Ohio. She is basically half the right between Pittsburgh and Cleveland in a town called Beaver Township.
Oh,
in Ohio. That's where she's from.
Go get your ladies.
Well, yes. And hold that thought, Jimmy.
Oh, boy.
Brandy's real close with her family. She hangs out with her cousins and her whole family a lot. She's
very Italian.
Very family kid. By the time she loves cats. She's into cats. She likes her cats, much like my daughter. Music, things like that. And she's into riding go-karts as well.
Sure.
Likes go-karts, which, I mean, if you're from kind of this area, this is like four-wheeler go-kart outdoor vehicle.
Well, there's this other thing, James, about if you've ever ridden a go-kart, you also love riding go-karts.
Well,
and if you haven't ridden go-karts, you also love it. I promise.
You look at it with just a longing look on your face as people ride go-karts.
They are incredible. They're so much fun. No matter if you've done it or not, you love it. I promise.
Everybody loves a go-kart. She gets into like creative writing too and music. She's an orchestra member in school for 8 years. Okay. So she's into all music. That. Yeah, part of the band. She's also the part of the teen advisory board for the Boardman Library. So she's into she likes doing things.
She
likes being
kid.
A part of groups. Yeah, she's doing all this shit that I didn't do when I was a kid. She's doing all. I didn't know where to sign up for any of this stuff.
Right. She's doing very mature shit like reading music.
Yeah, things like that. And this is all good shit too for college. She's getting like extracurricular stuff for college and all that sort of thing. So she's got goals in her life as well. Always liked writing a lot. That was one of her main things. She liked to hang out, and she liked music. She went to see like Warped Tour and shit like that.
Oh, rap.
Yeah. She's also into country music and rap. She liked all music, basically. She can find something she likes out of any genre, much like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find a lot of stuff that you like.
I love everything. And as growing up, I hated the person that would be like, I love everything. But I really do. I can find something in there that I'm like, this is great.
I have very pronounced hatreds of things where certain sounds I hit my ears and they make me wince. And I'm just like, make that stop, please. I can't take that
steel
anymore.
Guitar is tough to listen to.
I hear that. I hear that fucking. I'm like, turn it off.
Oh, you mean
no, I can't.
You mean the way they say the sounds?
Everything. It's what I mean. It's the actual sounds that hit my ears, and I physically wince. I don't. It's not a choice. It's like if you taste something and you go and you spit it out. That's what my ears do. It's not my fault.
They taste and spit it right back.
Any country music that was made beyond 1977, it just rejects it. I can't take it. Not my fault, man.
And anything that I hear that I can viscerally feel a frat boy playing it on the beach in Florida trying to get pussy. That music I loathe.
I don't like. I've always been
so
like
much.
That too.
It feels like audible date rape, and I'm repulsed.
I'm not into that shit. I always hated like in the 90s. I hated fucking Limp Bizkit and that kind of shit too. Like I just couldn't take that kind of shit.
That's just bad rap.
Yeah, like I'm all for like aggression and that's all great and everything, but it's got to be like smart. It can't just be. It can't make me feel like I'm stupider after listening to it. That didn't help it.
Somebody heard Fred Durst go, and they were like, "We can sell it." What? Why?
Oh yeah,
that's good. The noises he would make were awful.
Who did that noise come out of? Oh, that man? Oh, God. Look at him. He's an Adonis. Let's, what? This is what, no, that's what I mean. What happened there?
Some blue-eyed dork with his hat on backward and always the same hat? Like, that's his identity, the hat?
That's the one, babe.
Fuck that guy.
It's very strange. But Brandy is not like that at all. Brandy is a nice person and very un-Fred Durst-like.
Yeah, she can find everything. She can find something that she enjoys and just be a happy person.
Yeah, and I know, so I'll save everybody. I don't know what Fred Durst has been doing in the last 20 years, and someone's going to post, he's actually really nice, and like show us a thing of him like feeding puppies from a dropper. Who are
he's doing that because he's a monster.
Who were saved from a wildfire. It's basically he's doing like all the shit Guy Fieri does, and that's all fine. I don't care. We don't care about that at all. That's what we're saying. It doesn't matter. So just it's good. The music was enough. We're good with them. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So she also is very much one of those people who everybody has that in the group of friends. There's always the lost puppy finder. Yeah. The one who finds a lost puppy, not in terms of an actual puppy, but a human being who's a puppy, and they're just magnetically attracted to those people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And
Brandy's one of
most
those
of them,
people.
it's like they feel like they can nurture and correct whatever is wrong there. Yeah. And a lot of times they do, too, which is
it can
fucking
be helpful.
Crazy.
Yeah. It can be helpful, but sometimes you can't. You never know what people have gone through. But Brandy's good like that. She's very much has a lot of friends, not in just one group. She's got a lot of different groups of friends, apparently. She's a person who can easily float between groups of friends, and everybody kind of likes her. She's cool, and that's how that goes. So she wanted to go to college, like we said. After high school, Brandy enrolls in Youngstown State University, and Brandy was studying psychology and sociology. At Youngstown State. She's also a diabetic as well.
Oh, shit.
Brandy's, so there's something to think about there. Brandy's a diabetic. Been living with her grandmother for about the last 2.5 years-ish. Been living there. I don't know if that's for school, if maybe her grandmother's house is an easier access to school. Yeah. That might be it. But we've talked about Youngstown State, actually, because we've talked about that area in crime and sports before.
Yazoo?
For crime and sports, we've talked about
kidding. I have no idea.
Yazoo. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. No, we've talked about it for fucking Crime and Sports and a lot.
Somebody went there? Really?
That area, too. The Youngstown, Ohio with...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Brandy's one friend said, quote, Brandy wasn't the type of person to plan. Brandy just kind of went with it. She knew the focus, I think, but she didn't know exactly where she was going to end up. That's kind of the way she went. And she was happy to be, like that. Her friend said she used to go on what she would call adventures with friends. She's just a young person who's free. So she would do that. Her friend said, her one friend, Christy here, who we're going to hear a lot about, Christy Horvat is her name, or Harvat. We'll call her Harvat. That sounds better. Okay. She said, quote, that's what they called them, adventures. They would just jump in her car and drive wherever and just go. Okay. That's fun. That's fun 19-year-old shit. Like, hey, I don't have kids and bills. Let's hop in the car and go have fun. That sounds awesome. Yeah. Wouldn't you love to do that?
That's how that's how I mapped out in my head Northern Arizona. I mean, I can go anywhere up there and I know where it is because as a young kid, that's what I would do all the time.
That's
and
fun shit.
I miss it so much.
Yeah, having the freedom to go drive around.
Mortgages and water bills and
let's
road
go drive
shows
around and have fun.
I haven't done it in so long.
No, God, no. Also, she had a four-wheeler and they said she was like a daredevil on the four-wheeler, quick driver, that sort of thing. Also loved playing Mario Party and into social media at that point, too, in 2012. Facebook, Tumblr. That's a big one.
Oh, the Tumblr.
Tumblr, my daughter used to love Tumblr, too. So that's
a big one.
That's a big one. She's also a lesbian as well.
Okay.
She likes girls. That's why I was saying Beaver Township. You said that's where you find the ladies, and I was going to say it's where she found the ladies too.
Okay.
Her parents were fine with it. Her mom, Carrie, said, quote, I knew before she did. I accepted her any way, shape, or form. She was my daughter. And Christy, who is her friend and who's a little bit older, we'll talk about, who's Brandy's friend, she said Christy was there to help her along the way and guide her. She was amazing. And Christy said, I tried to help her through that and tell her it's okay to just be yourself. So... yeah, that's what's going on with Brandy. Sure. Seems like a damn nice kid. That's all. It seems like a nice kid. So good for her. She tells her in 2012 here, one day she tells her grandmother on May 17th, it's a Thursday, 2012, that she's going to visit her friend Rhiannon, who's a close friend of hers who lives nearby. Okay. So she said, I'm going to Rhiannon's, see you later. And but she doesn't. That's not the plan, though. She's not actually going to Rhiannon's. No, she's going to drive somewhere else, about 80 miles away, outside of Cochranton, Pennsylvania. Here, on her way, she's texting with Rhiannon while she's going there, and she said she felt kind of uneasy, and she said the text was, quote, I have a funny feeling this is the address where I'll be. So, always smart to do that. There's never anything wrong. When you feel weird at all, you should always tell somebody where you are if you can. Why not?
Yeah. And
especially if you're alone.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
That's I just, if I'm uneasy about someplace, I just fucking don't go.
Yeah.
I'll stay at home.
I don't want to go there. I don't go many places I'm super uneasy about where I like sketchy places.
Yeah. But when I was 19, I did that all the fucking time. Like an asshole. I'm lucky to be alive.
How many times when you're 19 are you hanging out with your friends and you like meet some couple people who are total strangers to you at like a gas station, and then 20 minutes later you're at their house
drinking something they handed me?
That's what I mean. How often is that? Like, that's what 19 is. That's what being 19. We met these people, and then they knew people who were having a party, so we hung out with them, and then we went to this party, and then I met these other people, and we drove with them, and you don't even know where the fuck your car is by 3 in the morning. You've been handed drinks by 8 strangers.
Right. 41-year-old me's going, are you out of your fucking mind?
Don't do that.
What are you doing?
Jesus Christ. Don't talk to them. Don't give them your number. You shouldn't drive either at this point. Get in an Uber. What are you doing? Like, you
ate that? Why would you do that?
Oh, my God. You don't know what's in that. There could be drugs in there. They're going to rape you. They're all going to rape you. That's all you think.
They're going to call you pincushion. Stop it.
As an adult, we just know that everything is a plot for rape at this point. It's everybody's. It's all it is.
Always somebody out to hurt me everywhere I go.
That's it. So she texts her friend Rhiannon that anyway. She texts her the address of 29558 Drake Hill Road.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, here's where I'll be, just in case, feeling weird. Makes you feel a little bit better. It's one of those things that you almost, like, say, and people joke around all the time, like, if I'm killed, here's where my body will be. You know what I mean? Like, that's what people joke around and say all the time. So she ends up going to see somebody else, though. She's going to see another young lady who's 19 years old, named Jade Nicole Olmstead, Olmstad, Olmstead. Now, she's got a history with Jade. This isn't somebody new. This is somebody who has been around a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They've had some interesting history together. They met on social media, I believe on MySpace, if I'm not mistaken, in 2009. And in time, they started hooking up and got together and were, girlfriends. And apparently, even after they broke up, and we'll talk about their relationship, Brandy was always kind of pining for Jade. She dug Jade. She's the one she couldn't get out of her head. You know what I mean?
Wished it went a different way.
Yep. She's the tune that kept getting stuck in your brain.
It's a song that never ends.
One of those. So at one point, she had moved in with Brandy at Brandy's grandparents' home, and her grandparents didn't approve of this, just because they were too young to be living together. They thought it wasn't whatever. She said that quote, Brandy was hiding her. Oh. So, yeah, this is what her friend said, Christy. Brandy was hiding her. She'd wait for Grandma to go to work, and then Jade would come over, and then she'd not be around when Grandma got home. So
that's one way to do it.
That's a way to do it. She also said Jade was one of those girls that found someone who'd give her attention and take care of her, and Brandy did that. So, yeah, she looks for lost puppies.
Yeah.
Jade's the type of person who looks for someone to kind of take care of her.
Right.
The person who likes to find lost puppies is the perfect person for that. So that's kind of how they ended up being together here. But for the lost puppy finder, those always end in heartbreak is the problem, because that person's they need something, and you can never provide all of what that person needs, because whatever it is in them, and they haven't found it yet. It's not
correct.
You're not going to give it to them, Right. It's got to be something else going on there. So she would help her all the time, though, anyway, even after they broke up, which was crazy. Jade's family, a little different. Brandy's family, nice family. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves each other. They do things together. Yeah. There's never any police action or anything like that at the house.
James, it's great.
Yeah, if you got go-karts, that's a happy household for the most part.
It's going well. Yeah.
Unless they're like made from stolen parts, which that's a methy household. But if they're store-bought go-karts,
you're doing
that's a
well.
good household.
Yeah.
I wish I grew up in a go-kart house. Oh my God.
Oh,
remember the kids who had go-kart houses?
Yeah.
Four-wheelers that weren't literally put together from stolen junk piles?
Right.
Like real ones that were painted one color. Remember
that carburetor came on that?
Yeah, remember that? Like they'd have like a dirt bike all matching, and you'd be like, "Whoa!"
Brand new Massimo clothes.
I remember thinking, your parents must have it so together. Like, I remember thinking that, like, wow, that house must be amazing over there. Just
the kid in my neighborhood, his dad was the photographer for the Suns, like the floor guy with the big fucking telephoto lens. So he'd be out at night being amazing on the floor next to athletes.
Man.
Then he'd come home and give the kids things that the athletes gave him, and have fucking go-karts, and they drive the go-karts in the neighborhood. They have pocket bikes, James. Those 60-mile-an-hour tiny bikes,
and
they
here's
had
Jimmie
those.
Peeking out the fucking blinds.
Going, what do they got today?
What are they doing out there? Jimmy's like, it's a new dirt bike, huh?
You son of a bitch.
You need another new dirt bike? I'm going to call the cops if you don't keep it down. He's starting to just get...
What'd you do with your other one? At least give me that.
Oh, man, what a fucking life, man. I used to think about that, too. Whenever I'd see those kids, I'd be like, wow. Or the kids that were like 16 and had a car that was made in the last 10 years driving to school, and you were like, whoa, look at that.
How'd you do that?
Wow, is that like your mom's? That's yours? Whoa. And you'd see they'd have like a fucking Nirvana bumper sticker on it. You'd be like, that's theirs. That's not even their
Moms. Holy shit.
And they'd take me with them to go to like Black Mountain, the BMX bike track, and ride their old bike that they got a new one. They got a new red line, so I'm out there on their Diamondback, and so mad, and they're blazing past me. And I'm trying
sure.
so hard.
You don't get a lot of track time though, probably, because I'm sure that costs money. That's the thing.
But their parents took pity on the poor kid.
Yeah. They're like, watch out for that third turn, Jimmie. It's a real bitch. As you're in a fucking pile of dust over
I'm
there.
over
They
the
know
berm.
it. They're jumping you. They're using you as a fucking hazard to jump. You see them like sideways with the wheel twisted as they go over top of you going, yeah.
Spinning the bars as they jump my shins.
Yeah. Then they stop and like fucking open up a soda and do it's like a soda commercial pose with like ice dripping off of it.
There's air between them and the can. It's just all the liquid hits their tongue.
It's a fucking Mountain Dew commercial. I love it so much. So anyway, Jade's family, though, a little bit different. Jade's parents are into drinking and drugs. So
okay.
Little bit of not as stable of a family here. They also are very unaccepting, apparently, of Jade's sexuality as well.
Sure.
They're not into that at all. And so they thought that Jade wasn't very happy with herself because of that. And that's understandable. I mean, that's
a fascinating view to have of your child when you're a fucking drug
you're
addict.
A mess.
What does it matter?
Who's not taking care of your kid and you care what they're attracted
to. Who gives a
to?
shit who she wants to kiss?
Yeah.
You're kissing a glass dick right now. Fuck off.
I don't know what they're into, but if you're doing meth, you really can't judge anybody.
You don't get to tell me
You
anything.
don't get to judge shit. Like
my lifestyle, no matter what it is, as long as it's not meth, should be fine.
Yeah, I don't care who you're fingering. Don't smoke meth. There you go. That works.
Look at me.
Yeah, because
look
guess what?
Straight lifestyle got me.
That's what I mean. Smoking meth will get you fingered in all the wrong places. That's the problem. Without it, you got a chance. So she wasn't very happy. I mean, it's no one's happy from that. That's you're starting in a hole when your family doesn't accept you and they're also a mess. You're starting in a hole that you're going to have to overcome mentally with, to feel good about yourself. You're in a therapy hole there. That's a person who could probably use some therapy. So
for years, it's not going to be an overnight thing.
No. That's not a quick one. That's not a quickie fix there. So Brandy's friend Christy, who, like I said, we'll talk about a lot, she said that about Jade, quote, "When I first met her, I thought that she lacked confidence. I felt like she wasn't comfortable in her own skin." Another friend said that she described Jade as very quiet, but I also know Jade had some issues at home, which kind of contributed to why she was so quiet. Makes sense. Her friend, Jade's friend, said, quote, "Jade really struggled with her parents. She came from a very religious household, and then she came out a lesbian. Her parents were not happy about it." So they were religious and into drugs?
Right.
That is, you're judging a lot, we'll put it that way, for things, you know what I mean? Like, I'm into drugs, but Jesus said that is not like, well, you deal with your meth shit first, and then we'll deal with all the rest of it. That's just, that goes first. So she said then she came out a lesbian. Her parents were not happy about it. They wanted her to change who she was and just flip the switch and not be gay anymore.
You can't do that. It doesn't work. I'm
just going to say this. I don't know about like guys because I don't know the desire for penis. It just doesn't hit me as that. Like I'm just saying, like I've never been like I really want to touch somebody else's penis. So, but I will tell you this: when you're into pussy, that doesn't go away. For as a man, and Jimmie, can you back me up on this? I feel like,
listen,
it only permeates. It's just,
but you see a gay guy and the way, like an out gay guy and the way he behaves, you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. That's a gay man, and he's a gay man. It's just, you just do that.
I just know for desire,
men are the same.
Desire for ladies. That's all I know.
Can't change it, man.
It's not going to change for me. So if she feels the same as me, I feel like this is permanent.
Right.
It's a permanent condition.
Yeah. The opposite view is how when a gay guy looks at pussy, he says gross. I say the same thing about a dick.
Yeah. No thanks. No thanks. It's like if you tried to give me a food I don't like. No thanks. Yeah.
Worse. It is gross. No thanks.
Yeah.
Not even no thanks.
Don't want it.
Get it away.
Well, I mean, I thank you for offering, is what I'm saying. I don't care if somebody hands me.
You've been magnanimous about it.
I don't like pecan pie. If someone tries to hand it to me, I don't go and swat it away. I go, no thanks. That's all. Not into penis, thank you. Like, it's a nice to offer.
I guess, yeah.
It's a nice offer, right? I mean, anything offered is I consider
anything offered is really that's a gift.
Thanks. That's nice. Yeah, you can't be mad at anybody for offering shit. So there you go. So Brandy, though, she said Brandy, she liked Jade, and she was very generous with her, and a lot of people saw Jade as kind of a not really. This wasn't an equal relationship. They saw Jade as just kind of glomming on to Brandy's spirit and her industriousness. And
Brandy's dating down.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. What's what her friends think anyway. Yeah. Which, I mean, there's not another thing about that I've found about women is their friends very rarely will support like any of the guys that you're with,
no matter who you're dating,
or guys, women, anything. It's just it doesn't matter. So I don't know if that's the same in this situation or not, but. It's she said this is one of her friends. Brandy told me that Jade didn't want to work. She took care of her a lot. I think that Brandy did a lot of things for Jade, and that made Jade feel good. It was rough because I feel like Brandy could do so much better, is what her mom said. It was rough. It was tough because I feel like Brandy could do better. Their relationship ended very abruptly, as a matter of fact, Brandy and Jade. According to Brandy here, apparently she was working the late shift at Target one night.
Yeah.
Brandy was. When she, I guess, Jade just stole her iPod, and $300 cash and snuck out through a window and took off.
What the fuck, man?
Of the house. Just took off out of the house, and she wasn't there later. So
cash and electronics?
Just took her shit that she could use and took off out of the house.
I'll call the police.
That's what I mean. Her friend, Brandy's friend, said Brandy was angry, but she forgave Jade. She loved her. So, her friend also said, I think she tried to date other people after that, but after a couple dates, she was over them, and I think it was because she compared everything to Jade. Mm-hmm. So, her friend Christy said Brandy had been in love with Jade, and they were together about a year before they broke up. Jade then started going with Ashley, but anytime Jade needed anything, Brandy was there. She had even recently driven to Baltimore to give Jade a ride to where she wanted to go.
Wow.
Cleveland to Baltimore that's not a short ride.
That's a day.
That's a day. Yeah, we know all it's day. It's like 6 hours from Pittsburgh to Philly, and then from Philly to Baltimore is another 3
hours. Yeah,
so you're talking
far.
that's all day. 10-hour trip. Yeah,
that's a work shift. For
if you take another 50 miles into Ohio, we're talking that's a 10-hour.
And if that's a turnaround trip, James, forget it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you got to get a hotel when you go there. Holy shit! So Brandy did anything for Jade, though. This was 300 miles away. Jade said, please pick me up in Maryland and bring me back to Ohio. Okay. So she did. She picked her up, brought her all the way there, and then apparently Jade had this Ashley girl and her parents come and pick her up. So why she didn't get Ashley to come get her from fucking Baltimore, but a lot of people think, she's using Brandy, Jade.
For sure.
You broke up with her, stole her shit, now you're getting rides from her? What a fucking... we've all been there.
You can't keep calling me after this.
No,
we're done.
A lot of us have played that sucker role from time to time, though, and it happens, and you're just
we've agreed to be friends, and friends don't do that shit. No. That's wifey shit.
That's the thing. Yeah, you go, don't you have somebody else to deal with? That's like a family matter, it seems like.
That's like breaking up and being like, maybe I can just get anal from you? No, that's like super deep relationship. No.
No shit. So Ashley is Ashley Barber. Ashley is Jade's new girlfriend here, and I guess Ashley had dated Jade before Jade met Brandy, and then so they were an old flame, and then Jade and Brandy went out, they broke up, and then Jade ended up going back with Ashley. Yeah, so that's how that works. Jade's friend said, quote, Ashley was very tough. She liked to put it out there that no one could mess with her. She was very aggressive. That's her style. Yeah, Ashley Barber is very aggressive. That's her whole deal. Everybody said she's got a kind of a mean vibe to her.
Jealous.
She's jealous. Yeah, she's jealous. She's a little angry. She's just she's tough. So
don't talk to my girl kind of shit. Jesus.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, she's 20 years old, Ashley, as well. And I guess they had broken up a few times. They had a kind of a contentious relationship here, as you can imagine, and just between an angry person and a person that has no self-esteem and needs therapy. There's issues with them here, and apparently when they were a couple, they like during high school they had also Jade had moved in with her at one point and then moved out. So Jade kept like leaving her house. She was looking for some way out of her house. It seemed like here.
Sounds like it.
One of her, Ashley's mother said Jade this spring had tried to get Ashley to move to Baltimore where her parents are. We didn't want Ashley to go that far from home. So they asked Jade if Jade they told Ashley, "We'll have Jade come here then, if it's that important." So that's how she didn't have any other way to get home but to call Brandy and have Brandy pick her up so she could be brought back to her girlfriend here.
Relocate me, please.
Relocate me, yeah. Move me, please. Now, their previous relationship, Ashley and Jade, didn't work because it was troubled.
Yeah,
they had problems.
Sure.
Apparently, Ashley at one time got in an argument with Jade and was very aggressive and even confronted Jade's parents at one point.
What?
And was arguing with them to where they had to call the police, and she was removed from the home by police.
Wow.
It got to that point, and Ashley's mother said, Jade had lied to my daughter and convinced her that she was being abused at home, and Ashley felt like she had to do something. So that's that's what Ashley's mother says, is that she had told her all these terrible stories, so Ashley went over there to confront them and be like, how fucking dare you, you leave her alone, you pieces of shit.
They're not doing this. They're probably not great people. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
We don't know.
Other than they're doing drugs. We know that, right?
We don't even know. That's what that was said, but then other people say they're just religious. So we don't even know whatever the upbringing is, they're not. We know that they're not accepting of Jade. Other than that, we don't really know too much about what they are.
And also, Jade, you're an adult. Get a good job and get the fuck out of the house then.
Yeah, she's not into doing that. She's just kind of latching on to other people. But Ashley's level of aggression, if you knew, let's say you're 20 and you were dating a 20-year-old girl and that girl was telling you about abuse she had suffered at home. She's not living at home. She's living with you. She's telling you about abuse she suffered at home. Would you go to her parents' house to confront them? No.
Thank God you're out of that.
Yeah, think about how aggressive of a person you have to be like, no, I can't abide that shit. I'm going to go over there.
I need vengeance.
Confront them about shit that already happened. Yeah, that's a lot. So that tells you a lot about Ashley right there.
Confront about shit that can't happen anymore. Like, what?
Yeah,
Why?
You're not there. So I guess she had told the Barbers later on, after when she got back together with Ashley, Jade told Ashley's family that Brandy Stevens had abused her as well.
Oh, God. Jesus.
And that's very unlikely. So it seems like Jade might be a tad bit of a liar here.
And not necessarily lying as like a reason. Like she doesn't have anger in her heart to do. She's doing it for attention, is what it feels.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She wants people to be on her side. It seems like it's like her parents aren't on her side, so she's going to get rally the troops.
She missed out so much support in her entire life that she's now trying to reconcile that by getting support for shit that it's bullshit.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And Jade would keep in touch with Brandy from time to time as well, which obviously Ashley didn't like. Her one friend, this is Brandy's friend, said Brandy and Jade would be in contact on and off. Brandy would go see her sometimes, and Jade would be nice to her. Then a couple days later, Jade and Ashley would be sending her mean messages.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we'll talk about some nasty social media shit that went on here. At one point, Brandy said to her friend, listen, do me a favor. And this is like such an old trope that people do. Like it's harder when you have a cell phone. But she said, I'm taking Jade's number out of my cell phone. Nobody remembers numbers once they have a phone. I'm taking this number out of my phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to you in case I want it later, but I'm taking it out of my phone because I don't want it. I don't want to have the temptation to call her. But if in a few months I change my mind, give me the number, but keep it for now. Okay. So Brandy's trying to just like have her friend kind of help her keep this girl at arm's length, which is a lot of people have done that. You know what I mean? There's a Seinfeld episode where he makes Kramer take the number and he tears it up, and Jerry's picking the pieces of the paper up off the floor trying to put it together because he wants to go back out with this chick. So, and then apparently a few months later, Brandy texted her friend and said, "Hey, I need that number." And her friend said, "I pretended like I didn't even get her messages. I didn't want her to contact Jade. I knew she was bad news." So somehow, though, Brandy got her number. You could find it. So she found, it's not hard. She found her number, or she could have just contacted her on social media, too. That's the other thing, and got her number that way. So she got in contact with Jade again, and in March of 2012 is when she brought her home from Baltimore. And all of that. Her friend Christy, Brandy's friend Christy, said Brandy loved her, so she did it. But Brandy would have done that for anybody. Yeah. Nice person. So this particular day, May 17th, 2012, is the day that she tells her grandmother, Brandy does, that she's going to see Rhiannon. In reality, she's going to see Jade. Texts her friend the address. That's where we're at now. Okay. Like I said, she'd been keeping in touch with her. And it wasn't like... And Jade invited Brandy, "Hey, why don't you come over and hang out?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Come, there's all sorts of cool shit to do and, whatever.
We got
come hang out."
Yeah.
So, it seemed fine. I mean, a little weird that this couple would want to hang out with the ex of one of the members, but she's like, I guess, I don't know, maybe we'll all be friends. Who knows? So Brandy hops in her 2002 Kia Rio.
Hell yeah.
There you go. And takes off to go visit Jade. And she told her friend, got a funny feeling and all that kind of shit. It's over an hour drive. She does text her friend as well that she stopped to get something to eat because she's a diabetic and her blood sugar felt a little low, so she stopped at Subway, one of those roadside
Smart
Subways,
move.
and grabbed herself a little bit of food so she'd feel a little more balanced there. So she's heading toward the house. This is how it's described in a publication. Quote, "After winding her way through a maze of roads that led her deep into the woods of Crawford County." Yes. That's the beginning of this journey. Took her through acres of isolated back hills indiscriminately sliced into rudimentary sections of dusty, dirty roads. It's trees everywhere. It's the fucking woods. I mean,
it's the middle of nowhere.
The middle of nowhere. And that's when she texted her friend, like, "This is kind of weird. I'm going to give you the address I'm supposed to be at because
here's a pin where I'm at. Fuck the address."
This is, I don't know if 2012 everybody was pinned
Probably
yet.
not,
Could pin that shit yet, but so now that day, her grandmother, as the night comes, because she's like, it gets dark outside, and her grandmother's like, okay, I haven't heard back from her. She was just going to her friend's house, but she noticed that she left. Her grandmother said that she didn't take her backpack with her that day. She left her backpack, and in her backpack is where she keeps her insulin when she goes out. So
you need that.
She doesn't have her insulin with her, and if she's out all night, she's going to need her insulin. So she probably didn't plan to be gone this long if she didn't take her insulin, is what that says to her grandmother here. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up. For energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options. Nice. It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So her grandmother started calling her cell phone and all the calls started going straight to voicemail.
Oh, phone's off.
Which off, or if you're in a very rural area, it would go straight to voicemail. Especially back then, there was a lot less coverage, and roaming was expensive. Remember roaming? You turn that shit off. So if you were,
what a weird thing that was.
You're out of range. You're out of fucking range. Period. That's it. So, no answer, nothing, no text, no call, no nothing from Brandy. The whole night goes by.
Oh.
Where she needs her insulin. Why would she leave without her insulin? And what the fuck? What's going on? So Brandy's grandmother calls Brandy's mother and says, I haven't heard from Brandy. Have you heard from Brandy? What's going on? And she said no. So because she is a diabetic and doesn't have her medication, they're able to call the police and file a missing persons report.
That's awesome.
Yeah, usually it would take longer because she's a 20-year-old girl. 20-year-old people are the people most likely to just disappear for a couple of days.
Right.
You know what I mean? And go do something with their friends, especially if she has a history of going on adventures. But the fact that she doesn't have her medication makes it like, okay, this is an issue. So they take it. They take the report actually, and they say that they're trying. They don't know where the fuck to find her. Basically, she could be anywhere. She said she was going to her friend Rhiannon's. Her friend Rhiannon said no, she's not. She texted me this. This is all I know. So the Beaver Township Police Chief, he said these are always tough cases, obviously, because a 20-year-old girl has the ability to leave and not have people around her looking for her, or have people hound her looking for her. So they don't suspect anything's awry. They just suspect that she probably went out to do some shit with her friends.
Adventure. Yep.
Phone died. Maybe she doesn't have her charger. She forgot her medication. Maybe she forgot her charger too. Is that in the backpack? So it's one of those deals. So her friend though said that her friend Christy said that she hadn't been to Ashley Barber's house because that's where Jade was staying, at Ashley Barber's house with her parents. And she said she didn't know that that's where she went. She didn't know anything about it. She had the address that she had texted her other friend, but that's about it. Now, some time goes by here because the whole weekend passes and they don't hear from Brandy. So finally, her friend Christy says, quote, I drove to Drake Hill Road, but it was at nighttime and it looked like a dirt road in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't see her car and I couldn't see tire tracks, so I left.
Wow.
But the police are doing seemingly nothing. Because this is an investigation that her parents mount and her family mounts, and her family goes looking for her, basically, because the police, in all of this, I never hear the police found this or the police did this. It's a matter of her family did this, and then they would tell the police because I don't know what the fuck they were doing.
But that's all they did. I mean,
they wrote it down. They sure wrote it down. But that's
most
about
times
all.
And if it wasn't for her being diabetic, they wouldn't have even written it down.
No, they'd be like,
Unbelievable.
call us in about a week maybe if you don't hear from her. Yeah. So she said, this is the Christy, her friend again, said, quote, "It was nighttime, it was dark, and I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. It was a dirt road, and I was looking for tire tracks, anything. I had lost my signal on my GPS, and had thought maybe she had too. If this is she's retracing her steps. She said, I didn't see any tire tracks. I turned around at the church, and I went home." And then Christy texted Jade later on to tell her that she was, before this, to tell her that she was coming there.
Right.
Jade's response is this, quote, "Be careful, it's no man's land out here, and it's bear hunting season." She said she Googled it, and she said it wasn't bear hunting season. And then she also said they don't like gay people out here, so be careful.
I'm not coming.
And then another text Jade texted, "Are the police doing anything?" Which Christy found strange. Like, why would what do you care at that point? So the location is, like we said, 29558 Drake Hill Road. The people are contacting Jade to see if she knows where she is. Like we said, her friends, Brandy's family, they're all contacting Jade. And Jade asks everybody that, that Jade is trying. Yeah, she's asking everybody if the police are involved. And then she's told several people it's bear hunting season, and the local people don't like gay people. So who knows? Anything's possible. They have big bear guns and, looking for hairy gay guys that they consider bears.
heavy set hairy guys.
Yeah. So on Monday morning, finally Brandy's cell phone pings near a tower. So they get a cell phone ping on her tower, on her phone, near a tower in Meadville, Pennsylvania, which we've talked about. Her family and friends were like, "Holy shit! Okay, maybe this is good. Maybe
fair, yeah.
Maybe she's like, yeah, she could be fucking judging rabbit hopping right now. We don't know.
Don't know.
Telling her favorite pigeon." So they had already printed out posters with her picture on it and everything. Like they were ready to they were launching a full missing person investigation.
That's incredible.
While the police were like, "I don't know. It's a long weekend. I mean, I got plans on Sunday." So they said that they headed out, went to Meadville where it pinged, and they went with the posters and went door to door through the whole town, basically.
Jesus.
They went into all the businesses, through neighborhoods. They broke up door to door. Have you seen this? Have you seen her? Have you seen her? Have you seen her? Which is amazing. That's fucking, God, don't we all wish we had family like that?
My family's not doing that.
Get a poster and start going door to door before the cops even. They'd be like, "We called the cops." I mean, what else? What more can we do?
We trust them. They'll do their best. Will they, Mom?
Really?
God damn it.
So
you're retired. Get off your ass.
Yeah. Do you have time for this? One of the homes they visited was the Barber family, actually. Okay. They had went out there, and the Christy said, quote, "Finally, Brandy's mom called Jade and said, 'I'm coming to talk to you.' When we got to the Barber home, we stood in the front yard, and Jade and Ashley came around the house. Jade was nervous, and Ashley was defensive. They said they'd never seen Brandy. They said we didn't make it there. They said that, so they said after that, they said they started to get more afraid. And, it was kind of weird. And her one friend, Brandy's friend, said, quote, "I think that right around this time was when I reached out to her mom with the messages from Ashley." Now, we'll talk about that. Ashley here. Ashley is, according to one of Brandy's friends, quote, "I think Ashley was very insecure. She couldn't stand the thought of Jade giving attention to someone else."
Yeah.
She's pretty jealous, and apparently Ashley had made several really hateful social media messages sent to, apparently, they had gotten around. She sent some nasty shit
about Brandy to her friends.
About Brandy to her friends, yeah. One of her friends said, quote, she had said, "And I hope I get to kill her before her diabetes does."
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she's nasty, dude. This is nasty.
What a thing to say.
Yeah, that's fucking, yeah. I mean,
about a 20-year-old girl? What the fuck, man?
I guess when you're pissed off, and if you hate like I don't know, man. I guess we've all said crazy shit about like an old ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend or something like that. But that's just, it seems worse when it's written down. If you say it like sitting on a tailgate with a beer in your hand at midnight, nobody cares. But if you write it down and type it and send it through the fucking
Context
internet.
is key, too, and sarcasm doesn't come across in fucking
It's bouncing off
text.
satellites.
Yeah.
Once you're bouncing it off satellites, the whole thing gets another connotation.
Sarcasm gets lost 4 towers ago.
Oh, it got lost somewhere over
Yeah.
the Caspian Sea. It's just gone. It's out.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on here. Shit like that. So we knew that Ashley does not like Brandy very, very much.
Right.
Now, the mutual friend said she didn't take it seriously at the time because people say a lot of things when they're upset.
Sure.
That's all she said. So back to Christy. Christy is with Brandy's mom, Carrie, and Christy said, quote, Carrie said, this is stupid. We know where she is, and she was going to last. Let's go. I'm sure we can find it in the daylight. So then they go out over in the daylight, okay? GPS leads them to the house, a different GPS. They're met outside by Ashley and Jade and Ashley's father as well, okay? Now, this is Brandy's mother said, Jade came up to me, Ashley stayed back, and I said, you know why I'm here.
Yeah.
And no, I don't was the response.
Okay.
No, I don't. Why else would I be here, stupid? So she said, well, Brandy's been missing. And the response was, yeah, but she's not here. And she said, quote, I said, well, she was coming here. We have a text saying that she had a bad feeling and that this is the address that she'll be at. So this was the last known place of her location. Things cops should be doing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the mother's doing a bad thing by doing this. I'm saying the cops should have already been there doing this. She should be saying, yeah, I already talked about this with Detective so-and-so. That's what I mean.
Yeah. A lady in street clothes does not warrant the same response from a guilty person or somebody that has something to hide as a guy in a blue uniform and a fucking badge.
She can't bring her into a little room and sit her down and fucking talk to her and scare the shit out of her and do all that. She's on her front lawn.
A guy with some red and blues saying, you know why I'm here, warrants a different conversation than from the mom.
That a little bit. So, yeah, she said, this is what she said she never made it there. Kept saying, she never made it there. She never made it there. Now, at the time, Ashley had a bandage on her arm in the elbow area and upper arm area. She had injuries on her, and this is the mom says, quote, she said they were at the hospital when supposedly Brandy was coming, but she decided to turn back and not come because they weren't going to be there. So that's what their story is. We had to take Ashley to the hospital, so we told her, and then she didn't come because we weren't going to be here anyway.
We told her, head out here. Never mind, we're going to the hospital. Turn back. That's the story.
Because the story is Ashley fell down the stairs and hurt herself. So falling down the stairs, hurting herself, she needed to go to the hospital. It was not an appointment or anything. It was an emergency.
Okay.
So Carrie, Brandy's mom, said, quote, I was very aggressive with Jade. I finally told her, I said, I don't believe a fucking thing you're saying.
Atta girl.
I like this a lot. And that's when Ashley came up from behind Jade and said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, don't whoa, whoa, whoa me. This is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if she is Italian, you don't fuck with an Italian mom looking for their kid. No. If you whoa-whoa'd my mom, she would stab you. Like, there's no doubt. I have no doubt in my mind that this girl would already have a blade in her fucking throat if this was my mother. My mother would be going to jail this night. I know that. If I'd be going, oh, Jesus, Ma, don't stab her, please.
Which hospital did you go to? Because I'm going there next.
Yeah, I'll be there next, motherfucker. Yeah. So... she said, don't know, whoa me. I said, my daughter's been missing for 5 days, and this is the last known place she was at. So
5 days, and there's been no cops
5 days.
Here?
That's what I mean. No cops.
What?
No cops. I mean, there's cops, apparently, somebody, but they're not really, they're just going, have you seen this person? Nope. All right. And they get in the car and leave. They're not questioning anybody.
Oh, my God.
It's fucking ridiculous. So she's missing. So a friend of hers checks, basically Ashley, she looks on Ashley's social media and sees photos she's posted of marks on her arms where she had fallen. And her friend, this is Brandy's friend, said it just seemed a little too coincidental that Brandy was missing and now Ashley has bruises all over her.
Yeah.
Just seemed like a lot. So Mom and Christy leave and take their investigation to the state police because they're not doing shit. So they had to go out, canvass,
Yeah.
This is all shit cops do. Canvas with pictures. Have you seen this girl? No. Go to the last known location she was. Question a fucking suspect. Now, the problem is they have to do this because they're trying to find their daughter, hopefully alive. So they're going to go question. But the reason why the cops should do this first is because they have a certain way of questioning that they're, you know what I mean? They want them to know.
Right.
They can surprise. Oh, yeah, we just want to talk to you about this, and then hit them with a left hook about, oh, actually, motherfucker, we think you did this. So the cops have fucked this up 6 ways from Sunday. This is ridiculous. So these poor people, pissed off and enraged, take their information to the state police and go, here, assholes.
Here's some information and quote unquote, this is evidence, motherfucker.
Will you go talk to these fucking two and maybe you can get something out of them with, authority? We're not just me yelling in their front yard.
Right.
This is
maybe
a little different.
Maybe you've taken a class on interrogations or something.
Maybe use that fucking badge that they give you. Maybe use it now for this. So this is, I'm sorry, but if your kid imagine your fucking kid is missing for 5 fucking days and you're the one who has to investigate it because the cops are like, I don't know. What? Fuck, man. So, and this is 2012. This isn't 1975 where you're like, I don't know. Kids are out there hitchhiking, smoking the grass. We don't know how to get them. Having sex with each other, swinging. No, it's 2012. Fucking ridiculous. So this is well beyond Heyman Lee territory. We need to figure this out.
Start looking, goddammit.
Start looking. So apparently that at that point, the DA said, quote, they come and interview Ashley Barber and Jane Olmsted, and they tell the same story. She was supposed to come. She called us. They never showed up. So that's that. Now they report that the next day, apparently the parents were driving around, Carrie's driving around looking for her still.
Yeah.
Now the Kia Rio is now at the Barber house in the driveway, where it wasn't in the driveway before. Yeah. Now it's there. I guess Ashley Barber's mother reported to the state police that there was a car there and they don't know whose it is. That she called the cops and said, there's just a car in our driveway. We don't know whose car this is. Somebody left a car on our property.
Okay.
Now, the car's exterior, according to the mother, Carrie, said the exterior matched the car, but the interior didn't at all.
What?
Carrie, the mother, said, quote, I said, what's in it? And the answer was, well, nothing, is what she was told. And she said, I said, then something's happened. I said, because my daughter's car is a pigsty. I know my daughter's car, and if there's nothing in that car, something happened to my daughter. It's the truth.
It's clean?
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
Something wrong. So they figured, the police and the DA even thought that it was staged. Here's a quote. It's been staged. It's been cleaned. You had a missing person who was supposedly coming to this home. Barber and Olmsted tell the police she was never there, but yet the vehicle was found there.
Yeah, you can't have the story. I haven't seen her since we told her to come here, and then you have her car. That's bad.
Yeah, that's real bad. So
real bad.
They wait till the next day. Then they're going to go grab Ashley and Jade and talk to them and bring them in for interrogation. Okay, it's all very. Can you start my orange? This is all a very fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's taking their time.
Everybody's real cash about this whole thing.
Why?
Missing girl. We'll get to it.
Why are you so busy?
I got a fantasy football draft coming up. I'm going to get to that first. That's on Sunday. My kid's got a little league game. Got to hit that up. That's good. I got
a ribeye on the grill. I got to keep an eye on the flames. I don't want to fuck this up. It's a Wagyu.
Up, man. I got to take it off early and let it rest. You know what I'm saying? So
these are expensive.
Yeah, it's pricey. It's a holiday, babe. So a true state trooper, Eric Malloy, said, when we went back to the residence the next day to talk to them, Ms. Barber and Miss Olmsted, they in fact went missing. In the middle of the night, they had packed their belongings and left the residence.
Oh, that...
They're fucking gone.
What are you trying to do?
Jesus Christ.
For two people that are mad innocent, you're doing some mad guilty shit.
Yeah, listen, Bonnie and Bonnie, come on back here for a fucking minute here. You're wanted. Yeah. Chill out. You got to know, they're going to want to talk to us a little more probably, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So later on, like I said, the troopers go there. They see the whole deal. She is, they're missing. So Carrie her mom.
Brandy's
this
mom,
is Brandy's mom. She posts a message about her daughter's disappearance to the Facebook page of 2 different local radio stations.
Oh,
here.
shit.
And says, quote, "The PA State Police have found her car last night. Barbara and Olmsted had been questioned the night before and told police that Brandy never made it there. Then last night they stated that Brandy came there and got a ride from another friend." Because that's their news story we'll talk about. Then they said they never saw the car, they never saw the person that picked her up, and that she walked down the dirt road to get picked up.
The car runs? Why would she do that?
I'm going to walk down to the end. I'll leave in the driveway and then walk out there so they don't have to find the place. She also said that her daughter's car had been completely cleaned out, and she said that Ashley Barber had been taken to the hospital for an injury. Barber coincidentally went to the emergency room from falling down the basement stairs right around the time Brandy went missing, is what she posted on the Facebook page. So she's putting them on public fucking blast.
Honest to fuck. She's shaking trees.
She really is, man. So the Ashley Barber's father even signed a Pennsylvania State Police missing person declaration saying that his daughter was missing. Don't know where they are. They went missing. Then a trooper, State Trooper Joseph Stryle, he's off duty and traveling around here at the Park Avenue Plaza is where he is. He spotted what he thinks are Ashley and Jade near the woods under the overpass of the Smock Bridge in Vernon Township.
Jesus, they're under a bridge?
Literally under a bridge downtown. Yeah. This is fucking
Jesus.
sad. We'll just live under a bridge forever. This will work.
They'll never find us.
Jesus Christ. That women, they said the women matched the descriptions, and that when he drove by them in his own vehicle, not even a police vehicle, they turned away from him. They both turned away from the car. Yeah. Which, maybe they don't want to see you. I don't know. Right. But something tells me this guy's had that reaction from more than one woman. That's all I'm going to say. So then the women get in a car driven by an unknown man. They just hop in a car and take off. So this cop decides to follow after, and he contacts the state police barracks in Meadville. He ends up catching up with the vehicle at a traffic light in Meadville, and he exited his vehicle, identifying himself as a state trooper, showed the driver the badge, and asked the driver to park in the parking lot of a store nearby there. We're gonna go grab who you got there in your car. So troopers from the Meadville Barracks Forensic Services Unit are sent to 2955-8 Drake Hill Road. This is in Wayne Township, technically, I guess, but on May 23rd here. This is to investigate an apparent, what's been said as a possible blood stain in the Drake Hill Road roadway. Oh. In connection to this. So they're going to go check that out. At that point here, like we said, the car was there. Now there's a blood stain.
Blood puddle, right?
Yeah. Christy said this is what ended up happening. Brandy's car was in the garage the whole time we were standing in the drive. We were so close.
Oh, my God.
So we find out later that the car had been in the garage. They did the preliminary test in the road and found out that the substance was some kind of blood, and certain they find other things that look suspicious around the house. So they get a formal search warrant to bring in a cadaver dog as well.
Yeah.
Bring the cadaver dog in. Now there's something. One of the police troopers here said you could smell a certain odor of decay at certain times depending on which way the wind was blowing.
Take note of which way the wind is blowing, sir.
That's a bad sign.
You idiot.
No shit. Hey, which way is that blowing? Follow. It's like a dog in a cartoon going for a pie, but the opposite.
Get your legs up and
you just float.
Get in the scent stream. Follow it.
Go. So he said after spotting tire tracks leading across a grassy area from the road into a nearby woods, they followed the tracks to a logging road and then followed the logging road as well. They said about 50 yards into the woods, they located a makeshift foundation, was what they called it, which was covering dirt that wasn't the same color as its surroundings.
Okay.
So an obvious disturbed earth situation here. So they plunge a stick into the dirt, as they do, to look for shit. And the stick goes very easily into the dirt. So they said it's not even compacted, this dirt. It's not evenly compacted. Like all the woods dirt is all even. So they said, it seems like digging's been placed here. So they bring in the excavators and they come in. They end up not having to dig very far under the earth here. In a 22-inch deep grave.
Stop that.
22 inches.
Fence footers are deeper. Jesus Christ.
Fucking lazy assholes. Lazy.
Disrespectful.
That's what I mean. Not even respectful enough to not be lazy about this. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
In the ground, they find Brandy in there in the 22-inch grave. She's fully clothed, minus shoes and socks. She has a yellow-colored rope wrapped around her neck.
What?
There's also an empty 6-ounce water bottle there as well, a black ski mask here, but they keep calling this hat a Saw hat.
What is that?
From the movie Saw? Some kind of
Saw mask?
Not a mask. They keep calling it a hat. It's a cloth, some kind of hat.
What
I don't know.
That?
I don't know here, but they keep saying that. They find that in there, as well as a black Ohio State college hoodie.
Yeah.
Sweatshirt, and 3 or 4 large rocks were found on top of her as well. Okay. One especially large rock with blood on it was found on her chest.
Oh no.
Okay. Now she's obviously deceased, and we'll talk about her injuries in a moment. But we're going to talk about these interviews quickly with Ashley and Jade. Now, Ashley's first story was, I don't know what you're talking about.
We never saw her.
Never saw her. That's what she told. That's what she told the mom and everything. Her first official police story that she tells is, last time I saw Brandy, she was walking up Drake Hill Road to go be picked up by somebody. Okay, and but as she was leaving, this is a great story. She told Ashley and Jade, "Hey, clean that car that I brought. I drove my car."
Why don't you wash my car for me? I'll be right back.
Clean it and hide it for me. Thanks. Yeah. Why would you show up at somebody's house, your ex-girlfriend and her new girlfriend who hate you, and just be like, I'm going to drop my car off and get picked up by somebody. Hey, you guys detail my car and hide it for me, would you? No problem. And they have like fucking, yellow rags in their hand going, no problem, spraying stuff. No, that's not. It's a terrible story.
You want the tire shine?
Yeah. And then hide it, though. Hide it.
Undercarriage wash, too? All right.
Why would she want her car hidden? Yeah, I get that. Rust proofing, sure. So, yeah, they said that's a goddamn bad story.
Ridiculous story.
And Ashley said she's bruised up on her head and her arm because she fell down the cellar stairs.
That's where we keep the tire shine.
That's tough. It's where we keep all the supplies, all the buckets, everything's down there. Yeah. Hose attachment. The trooper Eric Mallory, he conducted their interview separately. He said, I started out interviewing Ms. Barber, and she wasn't being truthful with me. She changed her story from Brandy never making it to the house to telling this guy that Brandy did come to the house but left to see another woman and said blah, blah, blah. He says, quote, the second rendition of the story basically was that Ms. Stevens had showed up at the house and she had planned on meeting another young woman by the name of Jimmie. She was being very clandestine about this, and she didn't want her parents to know or her grandparents to know. Ms. Barber had indicated to me that after Ms. Stevens arrived at the house, they played video games, and she said Ms. Stevens actually took a phone call. She went outside onto the front porch and had some sort of conversation with somebody. When she came in, she had looked like she had just won the lottery. And basically, shortly after that, she gathered her personal belongings out of her vehicle and started walking down Drake Hill Road, and she was never seen again.
It's a bad story.
That's not a good story. I don't know. She just didn't say shit. She just came in happy and then got her shit and left and told us to hide her car. Usual things that people do.
Yeah, but how happy was she? Like she won the lottery.
Like she won the lottery.
Who says that?
Wow. So he said basically they both stuck to the story that Ms. Stevens had showed up and was running off to meet another young lady and was never seen from again. Okay. Later in that same day, Ashley's got a different story. She says, listen, obviously I didn't tell you the truth the first time. It's obvious.
Clearly, yeah.
You know it.
I know it sounds implausible.
Doesn't sound right. I'm going to tell you what really happened.
Okay.
What really happened. Now this is after they find Brandy's body and everything like that. She says, listen, you're right. I mean, obviously Brandy was killed and she's buried, at my house. near my house, and that's where she was going and everything like that. But you have the wrong person is the problem. It's not me, and it's not Jade. My father actually killed her.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was my father. He killed her. That's right. I lied earlier because I was afraid, but I'm not afraid anymore. It's my dad.
Okay.
It's my dad. She told police that her father killed Brandy because Brandy, quote, looked like a boy, and her father wasn't very tolerant of homosexuality, is the quote. She said they had, they said, that's it. He says, this is the DA later on. Ashley Barber comes up with this fantastical story and blames her father. She explains that Brandy, Ashley, and Jade are down in the woods by the fort. We'll get to that. And her father comes down, and he's mad that the vehicle is there, and he's mad that Brandy Stevens is there, and he says some disparaging things about lesbians and homosexuality, and Barber says that her father and Brandy end up getting in a fight. A fist fight, apparently.
Yeah, Brandy's going to fight somebody.
19-year-old girls usually try to fist fight 50-year-old men. That's a normal thing.
A girl that reads music is
yeah, that's I mean, Brandy. Ashley,
quick to
maybe.
throw hands. Right.
Not Brandy. She says it's Ashley's father who then uses the shovel and attacks Brandy Stevens. So she says the father squared up with her.
Yeah,
threw some bows and then
he needs a weapon.
Then he decided he needed to shovel this 19-year-old girl.
Okay.
So this is fucking ridiculous. So they end up she's about 400 yards behind the house, the Barber house, buried in the woods. So it's someone needs to come up with something. So Olmsted, in her interviews, again, she said that she contacted Brandy and asked her to come to the house because she wanted to leave with Brandy. She said, so I was hoping she would come and take me because I wanted to leave with her. She said that that's the real reason why I called her here. And that's also the reason that Ashley got mad and didn't want her there. So she said that and Olmsted finally admits that she and Ashley are the ones that buried Brandy.
Oh, that's not good.
Washed off the shovel and burned Brandy's shoes and belongings from her car, then moved the car into the garage. She said that Ashley faked the bruises and disposed of Brandy's cell phone as well. Jade said, quote, she faked a fall down the basement stairs and her parents took her to Meadville Medical Center. And they said they put the phone down a storm drain at the drugstore where they went to fill her prescription after the hospital.
Regardless, this is what you just said is a life sentence. What are you talking about?
Fucking horrible. It's
we didn't
horrible.
kill her. We just did all of this.
We just did all this shit. She said that Ms. Barber indicated to me, this is the trooper, that she had more information to tell me, but she wasn't going to say another word until she was able to look into Jade's eyes and wanted to be able to talk to her.
Not a lawyer, into Jade's eyes.
I want to be able to make sure we get this connection. So they talk. He does let them talk because they say, we'll tell you everything. Just let us talk for a minute to each other. So he says, all right, there you go. Great. I don't know what you guys want to do. Sure. Then they're separated and recorded, and now it gets real. Okay. We talked to Ashley, and she tells police now that her mom and dad weren't involved. No shit.
Yeah.
Thanks. We know. In fact, they weren't even home. Never mind involved. They didn't even know.
Of course.
They weren't even there. She said that her and Jade planned the whole thing to scare Stevens. She wanted to scare Brandy because Ashley had heard that Brandy was abusive to Jade because that's the bullshit story Jade had been telling.
Right.
So she said they were going to get her over there and scare her and say, leave her alone and don't ever talk to her anymore, even though Jade's calling asking for fucking 10-hour-long rides. So It's ridiculous. So according to this plan, Jade's going to bring Brandy to the fort. They're going to say, hey, we built this cool fort in the woods. Are they 12-year-old boys now? What's going on? That would have worked on me when I was 12. And it did. My friend built a fort, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. So they're going to get her to come see the fort. And then at that point, Ashley would jump out and be like, you fucking stay away from her and you leave her alone and scare her, basically. And then Brandy would run away to her car and get in it and never talk to Jade again. And then Ashley and Jade would be happily ever after with no one ever bothering.
Until the next person.
Until the next person. The next time Jade needs something else. So anyway, so they said they lured her into the woods. They were, to see hey, we got this fort that we're building. Come check it out. Anyway, Ashley was hiding at the fort, and when they got back there, Jade and Brandy, Ashley popped out and started hitting Brandy.
Jesus.
She started hitting Brandy, and then Jade jumped in too and started hitting Brandy. And they're both punching and kicking her. They stuffed the cap into her mouth to stop her, to make her screaming quieter. Oh, God. That's what they did. They told the state trooper, quote, they said they were freaking out from her screams. They were kicking and punching her until she fell to the ground. She was down. Brandy was face down on the ground when Ashley said she grabbed her by the head and beat her head against a tree stump multiple times.
God.
Oh, gets worse, man. This is terrible. That's when Jade came in and hit Brandy on the head with a shovel 4 times.
There was a shovel.
Shovel 4 times, twice with the flat side, and then turned it to hit her with the sharp edge.
Jesus
twice.
Christ. What the fuck, man?
One blow resulted in a large cut, and the other broke through her skull and revealed brain. Fuck, man. At that point, I guess it was Ashley who grabbed the yellow rope, which was already at the site. They had the grave pre-dug, Jimmy. It was dug already. That's why the shovel was there, because they had dug the grave with it. That's the only reason it was there. They were planning on doing it with the rope, but she said, "Oh shit, this shovel. I'll grab it because it's here already."
Premeditated like a son of a bitch.
A fucking dug grave?
You can't argue that. It's over for you.
Like, you could have the thought of it,
Yeah.
and you could argue, like you told your friend, I'm going to kill that son of a bitch, and then later you kill it, and you could say, hey, I didn't mean it like that, or whatever. There's a lot of ways to argue premeditation. We see it all the time.
Yeah, right.
A pre-dug grave is like...
There's no way out of that.
You didn't just think about it or talk about it or mentally plan it. You dug a fucking grave. That's crazy.
And if you both took shifts in digging
a body.
you're looking at each other going, oh, God, that gurney's going to be awfully lonely. Why don't you grab one, too, and hand him the shovel? There's nothing you can do about this. There's no argument.
No, this is, you're so fucked. So they grabbed the yellow rope and looped it around Brandy's neck and started to try to strangle her as well. So Ashley ends up telling police that the bruise on her own forehead didn't come from falling down the stairs. It came from headbutting poor Brandy, trying to inflict more pain on her as she was choking her. She was headbutting her as well. Jade told police that Brandy was screaming for her life, and she said, "quote It was like she was seeing someone no one else could see." She's dying. You're killing her, you fucking psychopaths, fucking scumbags. This is from a quote from the state trooper who interviewed her. She was on the victim's back with her knee in her spine, pulling her head back with the rope and letting it hit the stump.
Wow.
That's what she was doing. This is fucking horrifying. Then they proceeded. It gets worse, by the way.
What?
Yeah. Then they proceeded to roll her into the shallow pre-dug grave.
Yeah.
And it's at that point they realize that she's still alive.
Oh, dear fuck, man.
Yeah. This is, wow. They said they said her shirt was pulled up some so they could see her chest rise and fall. So then Ashley found a large rock and threw it on Brandy's face.
Jesus.
So after this, they poured water on her face and nose area.
To see she's still alive?
Yeah, they said at first the water gurgled. Then when it stopped, they figured, okay, she must be dead now.
Yeah.
So that's when they shoveled the dirt back on her. Oh, my
God, she was not dead.
They said they told the police they put the sweatshirt into the grave because it had gotten so much blood on it anyway. It's might
useless.
As well just
throw
it. Might as well bury it with her.
Yeah.
And the hat had been used afterwards. The hat, after they took it out of her mouth, had been used to pick up what Ashley Barber referred to as meat or brains.
What the fuck, man?
And put it in the hull. These two are
picked it up like doggy bags.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God.
This is quotes from the interview. Here's Mallory. Ashley, let's clean the slate and just tell me what happened. She says, it was planned. How did you get Brandy to the house? We just told her that we were going to hang out. She said Jade sent a message to Brandy inviting her to meet Ashley and for them to check out the fort for the campsite they were building in the woods. So come on, meet my new girlfriend, hang out. You know, we got a camp thing. It's going to be cool. They said the girls tell Mallory that when Brandy arrived, Jade led her down the path to the fort and said the word babe, which was their code word. But that's when she's going to hop out at that point. When she says babe, that's when, you know, whatever. So Ashley says, I hear her say, hey, babe, and I ran as fast as I could. And I came down, and Jade had her arm around her neck. So I came up and punched her in the face. I don't know how many times, but I know it broke her nose. Brandy was screaming. Said, do you know what she was saying, Ashley? Barbara said, Jade, stop it. I won't tell anybody. Just let me go now. I told people where I was. So she's saying, people know I'm here, you dumb fucks.
You guys are in a lot of trouble for this now.
And she said that Brandy would fight. She fought back like a fucking, you know, she fought back. She was punching, kicking, begging for help intermittently, just trying to get fucking save her life. The cop said she thought she was calling out to somebody like, help me or something. And Ashley said, yeah, but it's like she knew somebody else was there. I mean, my neighbor was cutting his grass in the back. I knew if she ran, I was not going to be able to catch her. Plus, you know, her car being there and stuff. So I started beating her head off the tree stump. That's when the blood started coming. So you have potential witnesses right here.
Right.
People know where the fuck she is. There's electronic fucking electronic trail leading to you. People have her address, and her car's in your fucking driveway, and you're like, this is still a good idea. Let's carry this out.
You're 400 yards from your house, and you're going to leave a body there. You're an idiot.
Well, the neighbor's cutting the grass in the back, where if this girl gets loose and runs away, she's going to hop over this neighbor's fucking fence, bloodied up while he's trimming his fucking, while he's weed whacking his bougainvilleas. This is ridiculous.
And even if there's like noise from the lawnmower, if he has to stop because there's a rock or something, at any time, he may hear what's happening over there. Yeah. He may hear something awful right now.
That's what I mean. This is a terrible fucking plan and just a disgusting thing to do, obviously. That's
horrible thing to do.
I feel like that doesn't even need to be said, but once in a while we have to stop and go, this is fucking terrible. I mean, I get it. We talk about murder every week, and it's all bad, but every once in a while we have to go, for the love of Christ, how do you fucking even...
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Especially, it's just a lot, man. So that's when Jade grabbed the shovel, she said. So... in the interview, he asked Jade, how many times would you say you hit her with the shovel? She said, I don't know, like 4 times. That's why Ashley had bruises on her arms, because I accidentally hit her while she was holding Brandy down.
In a mad frenzy panic, she's just throwing that shovel.
She's just beating anything moving with a shovel.
Wow.
The cop said, was anything being said by either of you, Ashley or Brandy? And Jade said Brandy was screaming for her life. She said then Ashley puts the rope around Brandy's neck and tries choking her while Jade is beating her with a shovel in the head.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. The cop said, and what was Brandy's reaction after that? And Ashley, now back to her, she said, quote, she went limp, but she was gasping for air and she was saying, Jade, stop, Jade, stop. The girl was laying in a puddle of her own blood. I started getting angry. And the cop said, what do you think made you angry about that? Yeah. Like, he's like, I'm sitting with a fucking psychopath. This is crazy. What made you angry? She said, quote, that she wasn't fighting back anymore.
What? She enjoyed killing her.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Dude, that's crazy.
Then she said, I pick up the back of the rope and I let her head hit the stump probably 10 times. So she's just enjoying this.
She's loving it.
Then they, like I said, drag her into the grave, and Ashley said, I picked up a big boulder because I could tell that she was still breathing, and I walked over to the top of the grave and I smashed her face in.
How are you capable of this, you fucking monster?
Oh, my God. Then she said, we had a full bottle of water, and I stood above her and poured it into her nose and mouth. They were trying to drown her.
Yeah.
They were trying to basically waterboard her, essentially. Yeah. She said that's when they started covering her with dirt. And the cop said, do you think she was still alive when you buried her? And Jade, we're back to Jade now. Jade said, I don't know. So she didn't know if she's alive when we might have buried her alive. Who knows? That's what she said, basically. That's
staggering.
She said, quote, our intentions were to bring her over so we could kill her. And the cop said, okay, there it is. So thank you.
Yeah.
You got it. That's the one right there.
That was your intentions. We know what happened. We know she's dead.
We know the results. So
A to B, easy peasy.
That's it. And by the way, later on, as we'll talk about with her injuries here, wait for a second here. Now, they also burned their own clothing worn during the murder because it must have been fucking covered in everything.
A mess, yeah.
And also burned some of Brandy's stuff, as we said.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment. And Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity. And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep shoppers coming back with personalized experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge. In fact, it's proven, based on a report from EY, businesses on Shopify POS see real results, like 22% better total cost of ownership and benefits, equivalent to an 8.9% uplift in sales on average relative to the market set surveyed. Want more? Check out at shopify.com/Wondery. All lowercase, and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity. Shopify.com/Wondery.
They told police they burned Brandy's shoes as well with all of that. Now, the official cause of death here, they first start out by saying Miss Stevens had multiple injuries from multiple different objects. She had multiple blunt force injuries to a large percentage of her body.
Jesus.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. So they sustained blunt force trauma to the head, including 15 lacerations to the scalp.
Wow.
Multiple scalp and facial injuries, a skull fracture and hemorrhage, blunt force trauma to the body, a ligature around the neck, evidence of suffocation, including an article of clothing placed in her mouth, the evidence of suffocation involving organic and earthen ground liquid. Observations were summed up as suffocation in a setting of blunt force trauma and ligature application. Dirt and water.
She was alive.
Her. Yeah.
She was
they
alive.
suffocated her in mud, essentially. Yeah.
Assholes.
This is fucking disgusting. It doesn't get it doesn't get any more cold than this.
No.
It doesn't. I mean, people, you know, you have to enjoy this. There are plenty of murderers out there that they're trying to get it over with. They'll put the person out of their goddamn misery pretty fucking quickly. You know what I mean? This is like
this is colder than Leo at the end of Titanic, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, this is rough. Just watching him fucking float down.
Unbelievable.
Watching him sink. So, yeah, this is fucking crazy. It's awful. Her friend Christy, obviously, once they find out, said, quote, "I want people to know that Brandy didn't deserve this. She was a college student trying to make her way through life." Yeah, I would say. Her other friend said she was a wonderful person. She was 9 years younger than me, but was like a mother to me. She was very, very nice. Oh, my God. Jesus. Another guy said, "This isn't supposed to happen here. It's something you hear about in big cities." And
well, I hate that more than anything.
Well, that's why we have small town murder, because people say that's why we do it. They feel safe and idyllic. And our whole show is to say, you're not very safe. You could be buried in a backyard in no time.
I deal that.
Yeah, I deal that, motherfucker. That's how it is. So it's the whole point of the show. See, another guy here, a area businessman, said that he and his daughter were horrified by the whole thing after seeing and reading the news accounts of the case. And other people are horrified as well. Another guy, a woman named Janet Hopkins, said, it's strange for a small town. I don't think I've ever even heard of another murder around here. It's pretty sad. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think whether there's murders or not, it's still sad.
I can think of one, and that's bad enough.
It's fucking terrible. Now, the funeral for Brandy, she is cremated because her mom said she didn't want to bury her again. Fair.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to rebury her.
What's more heartbreaking of a sentence than that? I've never heard anything
sadder.
Hit me right in the heart before.
That's sadder than that.
Oh, poor lady.
That is fucking horrible, man. That's fucking horrible. Christy did her eulogy here. Yeah. She said, all Brandy wanted was to be herself in a world without prejudice, and I believe Brandy achieved that goal the best she could. Brandy was an inspiration to others. She taught others not to fear who you are, but to embrace his or herself. She shared 20 years with us, and now it's time to cherish those years. Everyone, our friends talked about how smart she was and how great she was to talk to, and she knew little bits of knowledge from everything. She took a trivia kind of a person. She knew cool little factoids and shit, and they liked hanging out with her.
Yeah.
Christy said no matter what you told her, it wasn't going to offend her. She wasn't going to get mad at you. She was just a super understanding person. She was able to put herself in anyone's shoes. She just had this incredible energy. Being around her made you feel good. Yeah.
We need people like her.
We need less people.
Rad.
She did seem really cool. We do need less people like Ashley and Jade, though, because
ice veins.
It gets worse, Jimmy.
Really?
Remember how I said it gets worse? It gets worse.
Yeah.
Now, do you think after they did that, if you did that, how would you feel afterwards? If you did that to another human being who didn't molest your daughter or something, just someone who did nothing to you, just maybe you had a slight disagreement or something, but no fucking nothing that's you killed my mom.
I guess all bets are off,
my father,
though, because
prepare to die type shit.
Yeah, I guess all bets are off because I know I'm incapable. But if I'm capable of something like that, these two can do fucking anything, and it would not surprise me now.
That's what I mean. Well, apparently they went inside after all that, and they got out a little journal, little notebook that they write in.
Yeah.
And on that date, May 17th, it's dated in their handwriting, in one of their handwritings, 2012. They wrote about how wonderful the murder was.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. No, they didn't even feel bad about it. They thought it was great. They thought the whole thing was just top-notch.
Cold.
Jade wrote that with, quote, this beautiful memory of this murder, eventually we will want another kill.
What the fuck, man?
They think they're natural-born killers now. This is starting up. Eventually, we'll want another kill, and she doubted that she would get caught for it. She said, it feels like it was the perfect murder. I don't see how we're going to get caught for it. Wow.
That's the
2012 is too late for that attitude. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's too fucking late for that attitude.
Dipshits.
Have you ever seen an episode of Law and Order? You've left way more evidence than most on that case, on that show.
And that's a dramatization. Watch fucking Forensic Files for 5 minutes.
Fucking the first 48. This is a terrible crime you committed.
You are idiots.
Wow. The story of she walked away, that ought to hold. No one will doubt that, I'm sure.
Eventually we'll want another kill. That's going to be tough. It's going to have to be your cellmate because you're going to be in close proximity to that person and that person only.
They did start the FSKA, though, the Future Serial Killers of America, which is a program that it's very nice for the kids.
Thriving,
Thriving.
Monthly dues are a little steep, but
it's tough. It's tough. They have
it
to
goes
get through
to defense.
All the postage too. If they want to write you back from prison, it's going to be difficult. So. Another time, and in the book, this is in the same page. They were both writing on it. She talked about that she used a shovel to hit her.
Jade or Ashley?
Jade Jade said that it was perfect, the whole thing, hitting her with the shovel. Using a shovel was perfect because that way she could see skull and brains mixed in the dirt.
What?
This is Freddy Krueger shit, man. We're getting into crazy
That's your
pocket robbing
ex-girlfriend,
territory.
man. Yeah.
This is nuts, dude. This is fucking nuts.
How do you do that?
At one point, she said, that person didn't deserve to have life, Jade wrote in the book. Then said, do I feel guilty? Not an ounce. No, I feel proud.
Yikes.
Then, oh my God.
Yeah.
Then Ashley writes her thing in here. She writes in the journal in the form of a letter to Brandy's mom instead of this. She says, quote, Jesus, these people are fucking horrible. Quote, I fucking murdered your 20-year-old mistake. She deserved it, bitch. That's what she said.
The incrimination that they these are two morons.
Two fucking idiots. Then from jail, while she's being held, Ashley wrote a letter to her parents hinting that she said, this won't be my last and it was not my first murder.
All right.
Yeah, they said that she was also trying to deflect some of the blame. She was trying to take some of the blame off of Jade. She was trying to take the blame from Jade.
The whole thing, yeah.
And she was saying that they were saying she was doing that to make herself look tougher, you know?
Yeah.
So the charges against them are first-degree murder, but they don't know whether they are going to seek the death penalty yet for these two.
Because they're young? Why?
Well, he'll explain it. He says, quote, he says, they never really came out and explained to the state police what their motive was. I always believed that it was their crazy attempt to show one another how much they cared for each other. Jade Olmsted had explained to the state police that Ashley Barber was very jealous, and I believe when Ashley found out that Jade was still communicating with Brandy, they decided that she had to go. Brandy Stevens wasn't bothering these two people, and they basically lured her here to murder her. Yeah, so, you know, this is a friend of hers here. Haynes is her last name. I think it's Tara Haynes. She says, quote, normally I'm not a big fan of the death penalty. I think people should have to sit in jail and think of what they've done. But I don't feel that Jade and Ashley are sitting there feeling bad, so I do want the death penalty in this case. Wow. That's true. They're not feeling any remorse about it. She said that she doesn't believe Brandy would, though. She says she doesn't think Brandy would want the death penalty for these people. She said Brandy had a huge heart. The people who took her life, she still wouldn't want to see them hurt. That's what she's about, man.
Is that
what she's about? Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of people are like that, man.
I don't know. I might feel that way right up until you start pouring water and then burying me. I'd be like, man, maybe go ahead and kill these two, would you?
If one of my cousins wants to go kill them, awesome. Yeah, avenge my death. But I don't really want some weird state thing happening. That's creepy. No, I think it's creepy. I think the whole thing's fucking creepy. I don't. And then if it's a family member, I don't have that. My great-grandmother was murdered. None of us, we didn't all go down there and sit there and say, I want to see her fry. They said they were going to give her, it was a 21-year-old woman who had a kid, and she was a crackhead who did it and all this shit. And they said they're going to cut a plea deal with her. And we could have said, no, you go for the death penalty, because it was a robbery. Yeah. She tied an old lady to a chair, cut her throat, and robbed her. That's pretty fucking bad. But our whole family said, what good does that do?
True.
How does that help us? It doesn't. The thing that would help us would be to move on from the whole thing. Not to seek vengeance, and it doesn't work.
And we are clouded also by gender in situations like this, where if a dude did this to his...
If two dudes did this would be... This would be
insane.
And that's... The justice system does give, and this is statistically, I'm not saying every time, because there are judges, I'm sure,
leniency,
juries.
Crazy. Yeah.
But if you look at sentencing for similar crimes, women get less of a sentence because generally half the time there's a guy involved in the crime too that probably half forced them to do it and shit like that.
Yeah.
But this is tough, man. Christy,
and even in those cases, sometimes the woman gets out and the dude stays in.
Yeah, we've seen that how many times on this one. It happens all the time. All the time. Now, Christy, her friend, said that she recently saw an episode of Law & Order SVU where the detective put himself in jail for a day in solitary confinement to see what it was like.
Right.
And she said there's no one to talk to, no window in the tiny cell, and no way to tell if it's day or night. So pretty soon the detective starts freaking out. She says he starts banging on the cell door saying, I told you 24 hours, not a week. That's what I want for them.
And they're like, you've been in here 45 minutes, sir. Chill out.
It's not even lunch yet, bro. Okay.
You haven't even peed yet. How could you think there's been here a week?
You haven't even written in your own shit yet. You've not experienced the entirety of solitary. You've not even made a mural in your own feces.
You're about to break, though.
I feel like this isn't going as much as you want it to.
You're almost there, Bob Ross.
Yeah, no shit. Now, the Barber family, Ashley's parents, James and Marie Barber, they don't feel justice will be served until their daughter is set free.
What?
Ashley needs to be set free. They don't believe she actually killed Brandy. That's crazy.
God.
They said, quote, we didn't believe most anything they said about her at the hearing. The things they accused her of, it's just not feasible.
She said it, you guys.
Really? It's not feasible.
She wrote it, you guys.
She's got a real active imagination then, because she said a whole lot of shit where if you came up with that, it either happened or you should start writing Stephen King books, because you should start writing horror thriller books, because you came up with some fucking terrifying scenario that's absolutely disgusting and made my stomach turn. So I'm going to say,
and then the police and the medical examiner corroborated with physical evidence exactly what her story is. So
exactly, perfectly.
You weren't there. You're bad parents. You're dopes. Shut up.
That's it. Yeah, you fucked something up along the way to cause this.
You blew
I don't know what it was, but something bad happened, and it's out of the barn already. Horse out of the barn here. It's over with. Like,
let's just get out there and chase it.
Nope, it's over with. Hope you have any other kids? That's what I would say. Anybody else? If you do, start concentrating on them to make sure this shit doesn't happen again.
Hug them a little more.
Yeah, please, because Ashley might have needed it. Otherwise, she wouldn't be a murderer.
Right?
Who knows? So Ashley, they said she studied film production at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, and she was going to go into the Peace Corps. She's going into the Peace Corps. She's not a murderer. Come on. She said, quote, my daughter is a good person. She's a humanitarian.
What the fuck?
She 90% beat a girl to death and then buried her alive. That is not a humanitarian act whatsoever.
Just like bringing mosquito nets to Africa. What
is humanitarian about that? What is that? Is that
your daughter's an
food?
asshole?
No. Yeah. An asshole's the best way to describe her.
I think you're mixing up humanitarian with barbarian.
Barbarian or non-human entity, maybe. She mixed those words
Monster.
up. She has helped people all her life, except for this one. She, one of her friends, one of Brandy's friends, wondered if Jade and Jade and Ashley said, do they understand what they've done? She said, quote, I wonder if they even realize not only what they've done to so many lives, but what they've done to their own lives, because they don't have lives now. They essentially took their own lives too.
Yeah.
So the district attorney decides not to pursue the death penalty.
Is that right?
Not to pursue it. He says, and he gives full explanation, because people certainly are like, hold on a minute.
I got a feeling why he's doing it. But
there's a lot. He spells it right out, too. Yeah. There's nothing between the lines to read here. He says, after careful consideration of the law and the facts that have been uncovered in the investigation of this case, I've decided not to seek the death penalty against either defendant. Although the allegations surrounding the murder of Brandy Stevens suggest that the attack that led to her death was brutal, those allegations alone are not sufficient to warrant the seeking of the death penalty under Pennsylvania law. He says he'll seek first-degree murder convictions and try to get mandatory life in prison sentence out of it. Yeah. That he'll get. He says, but under Pennsylvania law, a prosecutor may only seek the death penalty in a case of an alleged first-degree murder if at least one of 18 aggravating circumstances is present. Okay. 18. You get any one of the 18. Yeah. He said, in this case, there's no evidence to prove any of the death penalty's qualifying aggravating circumstance beyond a reasonable doubt. This decision was not one made lightly or without first consulting other prosecutors in my office and the Pennsylvania State Police. Just because something is horrific doesn't make it a death penalty case. He said, we would have to prove it was the intent of the actors to inflict substantial and unnecessary pain on the victim. In this case, they were simply ineffective in attempting to kill her. That's why the death took longer. They're saying the plan wasn't to torture her. They're just fucking inept at what they're doing.
Right.
They're just not good at this. Yeah. They're saying if they had a gun and put 2 in her head, they would have been just as satisfied with that. Right. The point wasn't to do all this, but I don't know. It seems like Ashley really fucking enjoyed.
She was having fun.
Seemed like she was enjoying that shit. But it
also feels like even if that would be a difficult case to prove, you've also got 2 defendants who knows, they may try to play off of each other. They could muddy it so much. The fact is, they both admitted that they were going to kill somebody. Somebody's dead, and they did it. So slam dunk for fucking first degree and life in prison.
And life in prison, yeah.
Fuck it.
And if you have the death penalty off the table too, well, there's 2 ways of looking at it. You could have the death penalty on the table and then use that as leverage to try to get a plea, and you can offer life. Right. But also, if you take the death penalty off the table, then you're more likely to get a plea because they're going to get life and not the death penalty. So it could go either way depending on the person. He did say the age and the gender were also factors too.
See, God damn it!
It's the truth. Yeah, he said based on my experience, and it's what a jury will do.
Yeah,
and it's got. If I'm a father, I have a 20-year-old daughter. Yeah. You know what I mean? 21 today, actually, and she is.
Birthday girl.
But like, I would look at this from both sides, and I don't think I could execute a 20-year-old girl because that's. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think I could do it, and I think that's the general consensus. If it's a 20-year-old boy, I'm like, you little shithead. But for some reason,
off with his head.
For me, I have a soft spot for my daughter. It always melts me. I couldn't do it. Now, at the same time, I wouldn't want my 20-year-old daughter being butchered like that. But if it was by another 20-year-old, it would really fuck with my brain. Sure. A 20-year-old girl, I would lose it.
Look at the other side of the coin. It's not necessarily a young girl. Jodi Arias dressed herself like a fucking librarian, and she carved a man up and shot him. And she got life, so it's possible that
it's possible.
She did
Casey
everything.
Anthony walks free. You know what I mean? And there's OJ's free, and Scott Peterson's in jail, and it happens both. You know what I mean?
But for women, though, it's so easy to not give them the death penalty because they're a lady, and it's
for
hard
me
to,
anyway. For a guy,
it's hard to destroy a woman.
I can't say from the opposite whether women feel the same way because I'm not a woman, but from a guy's point of view, I'd be way less. I'm not giving the death penalty probably to anybody just because that's not my responsibility. Mind my own fucking business here. But I'm saying, like, if I had to, I couldn't. I'm not doing it with a woman. I'm just not. I'm not killing a woman. I just can't do that.
I don't want to sit on a jury at all. That sounds horrible.
It's a very Italian thing. I'll only kill guys, but still, I don't want to do it. So he said, based on my experience, I didn't believe a jury would give them the death penalty. Being female, being that young, and the fact that I didn't know I could prove they had the intent to torture. So he's like, it didn't, it was a long shot, and I didn't want to look like I was losing something. Because at that point, then you look like you lose. So her friend Christy, though, Brandy's friend Christy, said she was confused by it. She said, it seems like he's taking it easy on them. Does this mean I can plan out a murder, dig a grave, kill a person, then live off taxpayers' money in jail for the rest of my life? Well, yeah, if you want to fucking kill somebody, sure. Yeah. That's also called prison. It's not pleasant. Right. Live off taxpayer money sounds like you're in your apartment ordering fucking Uber Eats and playing video games. Well, it is prison.
They're making me stay here and sending me food all day.
That's the nicest they ever made prison sound, but it's different. So they said no sort of punishment will bring Brandy back, so I have reluctantly accepted the DA's decision, is what Christy ultimately said. She's like, I don't get it, but you know what? It's not going to help anyway with Brandy, and that's a healthy attitude because you can't live seeking that vengeance forever like that, and it'll eat you up inside.
Right, especially if this person's in prison and they can't hurt anybody else anyway. And you can't get her back, so what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
That's what I mean, and that's
you got to have some sort of closure and move on. But that sounds so cold to say too. You know what I mean?
But you have to. No, but it's for your own sanity.
Yeah,
though.
Right.
It's not, and you'll feel like you're not giving that person their due, your loved one their due. But it's not. It's not that your loved one wouldn't want you to sit and torture yourself for 20 years.
Jesus,
that's the thing. Nobody would, unless they were a real asshole. Think about it more. Make it hurt.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Damn it! It doesn't hurt as much as that. So
I took a shovel. Did you?
Did you? Yeah, nobody wants that.
No.
So there's a competency hearing for Ashley. There's a psychiatrist, and she said she interviewed Ashley here for about 2 half-hour sessions. So an hour she spent with her. And she said it's
a lunch break?
A lunch break, yeah. It doesn't seem like enough time to fully diagnose a human being's mental
You ever
capacity.
sat with a friend on for 2 lunch breaks and known everything?
You couldn't even get through, where you're from. What are your parents like? Did you get along with your siblings? Like, you wouldn't even get through all of that. Never mind anything else.
That's 2 stories of the bad first day at school. That's it.
Yeah, there's no, you can't get into anything that leads to something else. Anyway, this doctor said that Ashley suffered from major depression disorder as well as a sleep disorder and borderline personality disorder, which
she must
borderline would explain a lot.
Laid it all out.
But I guess so, very quickly. I think a lot of it's based on her actions, too.
Maybe, yeah.
They also said that she was apathetic and not able to see herself going to trial in the case, and that Ashley also had a, quote, passive death wish. She's not in reality, this Ashley. She's in another... She's a very dangerous personality type, is what she is.
Bad girl.
And very bad. They said despite anti-anxiety and depression medication, she had not been sleeping and has lost 20 pounds since being in jail.
Really?
And she said lack of sleep and weight loss are symptoms of depression, obviously. And she said that Ashley's apathy to the situation didn't give her the ability to engage in her own defense. She basically just didn't give a shit. She was like, whatever. She turned like sullen teenager. And her psychiatrist said she's not able to cooperate with her attorney. She needs more intensive treatment to restore competency. Now, under cross-examination, they said, isn't she just kind of an asshole, though? Come on. They said that during her interviews, she was able to provide answers to questions, and the doctor said, yes, her answers are logical, relevant, and goal-oriented. So they said, okay, that sounds competent. That sounds pretty competent. And they said, the mother anyway said that, quote, this is Brandy's mother, competency is whether the defendant's able to, oh no, this is the judge. I apologize. The judge and Brandy have the same last name, but they're not related.
Okay, got it.
Every article says to make sure to say they're not related. The judge says competency is whether a defendant's able to be an active participant in her defense case. She understands. I don't see competency as lacking. There's no reason this case isn't able to move forward. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So in court, by the way, Christie says they were basically the prosecutors took the friends and family aside the night before. She said, quote, the night before, the detectives told some of us that the details told us the details so we would not be so terribly surprised. But even after that, it was still shocking to hear what Brandy went through. They didn't know exactly what happened until court came out and the details would have to be read in court, that whole thing that we talked about. And they were just like, holy shit. So they had to sit them down and go, this is what happened. So you guys don't gasp and
don't
cry
make
in
noises
court.
in court, right?
Yeah. She also said, Christie said, she was like the little sister that everyone would want to have, and for her to be brutally murdered is unfathomable. Yeah, I would say. So does Jade. I think Jade figured that out because she pleads. She just pleads. She takes a plea
Jade.
deal. Yeah, she's like, I don't want to go through all this. Her attorney said that she only wants to plea to spare the Stevens family further pain.
Fuck you.
Yeah, further pain. Yeah, okay. So one of the reasons for her plea, in addition to the fact that she is guilty, is that she didn't want to make the Brandy's family sit through the trial. That's what the lawyer said. Oh, my God. Christie said she's happy with the plea, the friend. Yeah. She said, I'm glad she pleaded guilty and allowed Brandy's family the slightest of relief to not have to go to trial twice. It's not easy for me to give her credit for that, but her conscience must have come back to decide to plead guilty before the trial. This might be the first sign of human behavior she's exhibited since planning the planning of the senseless murder.
Stunning, yeah.
Yeah. So Jade is questioned in court by the judge about, are you pleading to this? Are you saying this? She said, quote, we were going to kill her. And they said, you were going to kill her? And she said, yes. And she said that, they talked about and agreed to lure her to the home in order to kill her. When she arrived, Jade walked into the woods and Barbara was hiding and surprised her and punched and kicked her. She said, quote, "The shovel was already down there from us digging out the grave." Jesus. Holy Jesus Christ. She talked about hitting her. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. They said, the judge asked, "Did you see visible injuries to Brandy's head?" And she said yes, and admitted to seeing a lot of blood. So the judge is rightfully horrified, as well as everybody fucking else. During sentencing, Carrie, Brandy's mom, she said that her daughter looked for the good in everyone and was sensitive to others' needs and was just starting out her life, and it's bullshit. She said, quote, "She was cruelly and unjustly taken. She was taken from us. It's been very hard every day. She never hurt anybody." Yeah, I would say not. Christy said, "We're all different people since Brandy's been taken away." Another friend said, "A cruel and sick-minded person. You deserve much more than life in prison. You deserve every bit of torture you gave Brandy and then some." That's the aunt. Oh, yeah. That's Brandy's aunt. However, her father, Jade's father, said that, quote, "Me and my wife, our hearts go out to the family. When we moved to Maryland, we hoped to keep her away from people she had trouble with in her past." They talked about the fact that Jade was molested by a neighbor when she was 13, but the man was never prosecuted. That's probably more about her. A lot of molestations don't get prosecuted because if there's not physical proof, then it's word against word, and a lot of times they'll get away with it like that. There's a lot. Read Michael Jackson's book, the book about him. Oh boy, Be Careful Who You Love is the name of it. It's fucking disturbing. So he then said, quote, I don't want her portrayed as a monster. Well, dude, we're already past that, brother. Yeah. Sorry.
Read her words, sir.
That she wrote in her own handwriting. "I'm truly sorry for the family. What Jade Olmstead did," oh no, this is the defense attorney. Her defense attorney said, "What Jade Olmstead did 18 months ago was monstrous, but she's not a monster. She's guilty and freely acknowledges that. She does not want to make Brandy's family sit through another trial. She knows how terrible the thing is she and Ashley have done to their daughter." Then Jade has to talk, and she said she's truly and deeply sorry for what happened. Brandy did not deserve what happened to her. Then the judge said that, wow, he couldn't imagine what the victim's family was going through. He said, "Was this hardness of heart? Did this occur through coercion? Was mental illness involved, or was it pure evil? I don't know, but this act under these circumstances with these facts has only one option, and that option is life in prison. Not that that'll bring Brandy back, but I'm hoping it'll bring some sense of closure to the family. You, ma'am, may fuck off. Life in prison without parole, by the way."
Wow.
Yeah, no parole, life in prison.
And she pled. No,
and she pled to that.
There's no going back. You're staying.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Oh, my God.
They said also, her defense attorney said later on to the press that the life sentence is not entirely written in stone. The present state of the law in Pennsylvania is that she's not permitted to have parole. However, the one thing we were able to accomplish is that we agreed that if there were ever a change in the law, she would have the benefit of being able to petition the court for a sentencing hearing at which she could present mitigating factors that might result in something different than a life sentence. So there's a lot of ifs there.
So fingers crossed? What the
They'd
fuck
have to
is
change
that?
the law.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. Now, obviously, Ashley's got to plead too now. She's fucked. She was going to go to trial, but now that Jade pleaded and she's there to fully testify against her in this whole thing.
It's hard to...
You're fucked now. And they're going to say it's all you. It's all you. So it's just going to be an ugly trial. So she goes to court and pleads guilty, like we said. And her mother, Marie, this is Ashley's mother, said, "I want to extend a heartfelt apology and sympathy to Brandy's family and friends. The way our daughter is portrayed is not the girl we know and love."
Marie.
She said she's an activist, wanted to join the Peace Corps. She said, "I pray one day she'll prove her value to society." I have to be from prison, Chickie. So that's, wow. That's unbelievable. Then she has to talk herself here, Ashley. And she says, "One action does not define someone's life. This too shall pass for me. Overall, I'm sorry."
What?
Could you get a more tone-deaf, callous?
My God.
You're doing this to show All I care about is contrition. That's if you're not going to say that, don't say shit.
She said you hit her head against a tree how many times? Each one of those is one action. Fuck you.
She said, "This too shall pass for me." For me, because I'm the important thing.
I'll get to it.
Overall, I'm sorry. What the fuck does that? Next time you get in a fight with your spouse, everybody out there, try that one. Go, listen, okay? One action doesn't mean I'm a bad person. This too shall pass. Overall, I'm sorry. They'd be like, overall? What the fuck does that mean? What are you not sorry about? What are you, sorry in a fucking umbrella? No, what specifically are you sorry about? That shit doesn't work on a personal level, never mind in court.
Those are words I say to my bowels after I eat a microwavable burrito when I'm sitting on the toilet. Overall, I'm sorry, but overall, it was pretty good.
This too shall pass for me. This burrito too
Sorry
shall pass.
about this, Colin. We'll get through it.
We'll get through it together. Together, but stick with me. Don't fall out, please.
She's an asshole.
Then she said, I don't have much to say. I have no explanation. You may not believe me, but I do apologize.
Baby, don't talk. Stop.
Just shut the fuck up. It gets worse.
What are you doing?
Every time. Every fucking time.
You're making your mom look like a jerk.
Your whole family. You're an embarrassment. So the judge says, ma'am, you young. Did I say you, sir, earlier? You, ma'am, to the other.
Yeah, you did.
Ma'am. I did. Sorry.
You,
ma'am, you young lady, whoever you want to say it, may fuck off. Life in prison for her, too. Mm-hmm. I feel like she should get a little worse. I don't know. Like, she should have to get, like,
thrown, 10 years
kicked
or something.
in the ass once in a week or something. Come out for your ass kicking. They just give her a good solid, like a guy puts a big boot on and just gives her a good, like in The Simpsons, it gives her a good, one. Like when Bart took the frog to Australia. Yeah. And just fucking, or whatever the hell happened in Australia, something. He pissed off the whole continent. Anyway, now, you want to know, they're not together anymore, by the way. Her lawyer,
they broke up?
Jade's lawyer, said they're no longer a couple. He said, quote, they sure are not. In fact, they may have been, since they were arrested about 18 months ago, kept separated because there's a lot of antagonism between the two. They got to keep them separated so they don't attack each other now. So,
Jesus.
They asked him about, what about your client's journal entries? Let's
Remember
talk
those?
about that. This is her lawyer, Jade's lawyer, said, quote, it's so heinous I'd rather not repeat it. It certainly indicated, as of that day, a lack of remorse.
Can we not?
Wow. Holy shit. I would say it certainly indicated a lack of fucking remorse is one way to put it. Now, after Brandy's death, a friend of hers mentioned that they said, why don't you sell wristbands to raise money for the funeral? But Brandy's mom said that the funeral costs were being covered by an organization that does advocate work for victims' families.
Yeah.
That's cool. So they got some wristbands and they got some donations too. And they saved up to do this memorial bench. They wanted to put a bench maybe at her high school or something like that. They ended up getting a memorial bench in 2013, was unveiled on the campus of Youngstown State University.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's a memorial thing. Yeah. And they said that they hold their candlelight vigils every year at the bench. They said that they used the remaining donations to fund a scholarship in her name as well. The scholarships went to Boardman High School students who were pursuing an education in music because that's what she loved.
Yeah.
And every year on the May 17th, they hold a vigil in honor of Brandy and on the campus by the bench there. They said usually about 20 to 30 people show up.
Great.
Light some candles and shit. Hey, maybe this year, maybe more will come because now more people know about it. So this year, go support the family. They probably like that. Just don't ask weird questions.
Yeah, don't ask anything.
Don't be weird. Just
don't ask a thing.
Be respectful and be cool.
Yeah,
but support. It's nice. So 2015, Ashley is going to appeal. She says her previous lawyer was ineffective and her mental state was not taken into account when she entered a guilty plea to murder. So, Idiot. You can just take that life sentence back and all that stuff back. We're going to have a do-over. What do you say? So they had a hearing about it. She claimed she didn't have the ability to understand fully the consequences of her actions when she entered her plea of guilty and claims that her previous attorney failed to explain the nature and consequences of her actions to her. She claims that her previous attorney didn't have the appropriate experience and qualifications necessary to counsel her, as a matter of fact.
What?
Yep, he was just this guy was a fucking idiot. So They argue that the court failed to properly take into account a medical diagnosis of Barbara's incompetence and mental status with regard to understanding and voluntarily entering a guilty plea. They said if the evidentiary hearing was held, that she would testify to suffering from an unhealed concussion.
So she's got CTE?
She got CTE from that day, and being suicidal or near suicidal at the time of her plea as well. So
Okay.
her brain was like every murder suspect's head isn't a little fucked up from being in jail and being accused of murder. That's everybody. It's just everybody.
You're convicted. You were going to jail for a murder you did and wrote about. I'm sure you weren't. I'd be probably suicidal too.
No shit. So then 2016, Jade says, I'm going to do the same thing.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to do it as well. She does it, but then ends up pulling it back.
Yeah.
They said that she'd only be able to file an appeal of her sentence if the law she were convicted under were to change. So she's in there for life. And they said the court had discussed the difficulty of a successful appeal. Her public defender said, listen, you have nothing to appeal.
There's nothing. Right.
You admitted to everything.
Right.
You wrote it down.
Yeah.
It all matches up with the medical facts. Then you went in court, told them about it, and said, I'll take the guilty plea. What part of that do you want me to fix?
Also, the part where you said, I don't want to drag the family through this.
Yeah.
Now you're going to drag the family through it? What the fuck's wrong with you?
That's the thing. They said, you voluntarily entered a guilty plea. Now you're going to have it. She wanted a trial.
Idiot.
Like, what are you going to do in a trial? You're going to
get
lose.
worse. You're
This
gonna
is
die.
just stupid. They said evidence in the case hadn't been suppressed. Nothing's been suppressed. Everything is, you're done, dude. Then Ashley, people keep saying withdraw your. She decides not to withdraw her guilty plea after all. Okay. The judge. Well, she wants to, but the judge says no. You're going to have your guilty plea, Ashley. The judge wrote 3 specific examples of conversational, detail-oriented statements Barbara made that demonstrated she was paying close attention and participating in court.
Yeah.
So, quote, she exhibited both the ability and the desire to communicate her understanding to the court. She was able to correct the court when necessary and demonstrated she was thinking critically during the process. He said, based on the entire record, including Barbara's answers to various questions about her competency and mental health, all led to the clear and inescapable conclusion that she was competent at the time she entered the plea.
Right.
They said that the judge said that the lawyer was a credible lawyer and didn't force her to do it and did know what he was doing. He said he was prepared, or at least notably prepared, and ready for trial. It was the petitioner, which is Ashley, for her own reasons that indicated a desire to enter a plea and conveyed the same to counsel. Not his fucking fault. They said she entered a knowing, voluntary, and intelligent guilty plea, and they said you can fuck off, basically, is how that goes. The district attorney said it can be a frustrating part of the job, and it certainly is frustrating for victims and their families. However, most defendants are unsuccessful. Our judges in Crawford County do an excellent job of covering all the legal requirements on the record with defendants when they are entering pleas of guilty. Yeah, that's just dot the I's, cross the T's. That's all it is. Now, Brandy's mom, give her the final word, I think, in this whole thing. She said here that, she believes there's a lesson in this for everybody, even though this is a terrible thing to happen. She goes, hopefully her friends, people that know her, people that hear about this will take at least this lesson from it. Quote, listen to your gut. You have a bad feeling. Don't just text somebody that you have a bad feeling. This is where I'll be if something happens to you. If you have a bad feeling, don't go. Just don't go. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's what you said earlier, and that's exactly the truth. Yeah, saying that's good that we can find your murderer later, but we'd rather you be alive. That'd be better.
We'd rather find you.
Out there. We'd rather find you alive and not in a fucking 22-inch grave. Christy Horvat, the friend, also said, quote, the fact that she was taken in such an ugly way for such a beautiful person, a beautiful soul, it was just shocking. That's why I don't want her to be remembered by how she was taken. I want her to be remembered as who she was before. So there you go. Poor Brandy. Jesus Christ,
Unbelievable, man.
I like Brandy. This sucks, man. She seemed cool, and this is very uncool what happened to her. And just so unnecessary.
I hope somebody wins a Grammy that benefits from her scholarship. That's
right?
How fucking depressing, man.
So unnecessary, because it's not it's not like they lived down the street and every time they drove by they had to see her car.
Yeah, they literally made her drive
80 miles away.
They
made her drive an hour and a fucking half to get there so they could do this to her. It made no fucking sense. And it seems like if they just said, if Jade said, don't text me anymore, she wouldn't have.
Yeah.
That would have been it. Jade was the one that kept initiating fucking contact. So what are we talking about? This is just these two. I don't think the fact that they started writing a journal about it the day of it tells me that these two, and from what they said afterwards, I honestly feel like they said, let's start killing people.
Yeah. Well,
that
start
felt
with your
great.
ex because I can surely do that.
Yep, that felt great, and they're documenting it in their journal for themselves to be like, so they can go back and read it and figure. That's what I feel like it is. I really feel like they were planning on killing more people because there was no reason to kill her. No. So if there's no reason to kill her, that tells me that you're capable of killing anybody. Anybody out there, and This was disturbing. The way they
worse over her parents know what she's capable of as a person too, and they're gonna stand in open court with the victim's family there and say that are you out of your fucking what?
It's fucking crazy,
it's unreal,
man.
Unreal.
And at what point, while someone's committing a murder like this, that isn't like it isn't a mob hit. It isn't like I'm killing my girlfriend's husband for insurance money or some bullshit like that. This is
there's no benefit to this at all.
None, no benefit from this. So to me, it's like, at what point during the murder that it's not going well, do you go, what are we fucking doing?
Yeah,
this is taking a long time. And then you're like, well, we can't stop now, I guess, because we've half killed her and she's going to go tell everybody and then we're going to get in trouble. But Jesus Christ, at least she's alive and you're not in prison for the rest of your life, you dumb fuck. Yeah. This is fucking hard. But they didn't ever have that thought that, oh my God, this is terrible. They were like, oh, good, hit her more. I'll just choke her more. She got mad when her body went limp. Think about that. Yeah. Think about the mentality of, I'm trying to choke someone to death. Oh, they stopped pulling. That was fun. I liked feeling them fight back against me trying to murder them. That's disturbing.
The fight must have been a long fight too, and she still was upset that long fight was over. Jesus, man.
Fucking disturbing. Yeah. That chick is capable of anything. I think Jade is pretty malleable.
Yeah.
But I think Ashley is a dangerous person, man. I really do. So
I think Jade is just as dangerous because you put her with somebody that's dangerous like that, and she'll just do whatever that person tells her to do. That's scary.
That's it. Bonnie and Bonnie, let's fucking do it. I'm on it. That's it. So either way, that is Cochranton and Wayne Township and Meadville and that whole area, Pennsylvania. Wow. Holy balls. That was crazy.
Jesus.
If you enjoy the show, you want to tell the world about it, please. Get on whatever podcast app you're listening on and give 5 stars. It really does help, especially on Apple Podcasts. I know it really helps drive you up the charts. Right. So help us out and do that. It does do wonders for us for some odd reason. Head over to social media. Follow us there. We are at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Get all the latest news and all the updates and live shows. And when new shows come out, you'll know about it immediately because it'll be on there. So definitely do that. Also, shutupandgivememurder.com. You can find those social media links right through there. In addition to that, you're going to find all the merch that you could possibly want on there. Everything from a cheer up bitch shower curtain to a Pam and Lamb ham jam band fucking carpet on your rug. You can do any of these things. We have it all. Get on there. But most of all, we have live shows that we want to show you. First of all, October the 27th is the virtual live show.
Yes.
Doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in Alabama or Australia, you can come to.
We'll be there.
That's it. So if you're in Australia, I don't know if internet's got to Alabama yet. We haven't. I'm just kidding, Alabama. You know,
can't guarantee it.
And you know how I kid. But no, anywhere in the world with internet, we're coming right to your living room. And if you're wondering what the hell is a virtual live show, it is exactly like a live show.
Right.
If we set it up the same way, the same table, we set up the screen behind us, the pictures, so you get visuals of the murder and funny pictures and everything else. And it's exactly the same as a live show, except instead of the audience being in the room with us, they're in their own rooms, wherever they are in the whole world. And we are broadcasting out. But it's a lot of fun. People talk in the chats about it and bullshit. It's so much fun. Honestly, we've had nothing but good feedback from these things. That's why we keep doing them, because they're fun and everybody seems to like them. So get your tickets right there. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com, October 27th for Halloween. It's going to go all through. It's going to be available for 7 days afterwards. So
a whole week?
Yeah, you can watch it the night it comes out and then watch it again later in the week. You can watch it any time during that week, as many times as you want. Watch it Halloween night for a spooky, creepy time. Do it, have some fun, and come hang out with us, though. Get your tickets right now. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com or get them over at moment.co/smalltownmurder. And at Shut Up and Give Me Murder, you can also get tickets to regular in-person live shows where you can come out and see us. We're rounding out this year's schedule here, and should be pretty soon. We will have next year's tour schedule out, by the way, and we're going to release that. We'll have a big build up to it and everything. It'll be fun. But this year, definitely come see us September the 23rd in Tampa Improv. We're there 2 shows that night. Those are 2 totally different shows too, so you can see both. Then the next night we're at the Orlando Improv in obviously Orlando on September 24th. Get your tickets there. Again, those are the shows. The late and the early shows will be different. So you can do that. Come out and see us. Come see a show. Hang out with us. We can't goddamn wait. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the good stuff. I'm telling you. I'm not very arrogant about stuff, but our fucking Patreon kicks ass.
So much fun.
Our episodes are really good. We people say, "Holy shit, why can't this is better than the show?" They're like, "This is great." So you need to have Patreon, and anybody $5 a month or above, whatever you want to do, but it's got to be at least $5 to get everything, all the shows. Not only are you going to get a new show, 2 new shows every other week on there, but there's a whole back catalog with like 150 shows on there that you can get to. Tons of new stuff, very bingeable. And in addition, though, every other week you're going to get a new show. That is no exception this week. This week you will be getting, for Crime and Sports, because you're going to get both. For Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about Sex Scandals Part 3.
Hell yeah.
And these things, this has nothing to do with sports. This is just hilarious.
It's fun.
This girl's detailed Yelp review of college athletes' penises is the funniest thing in the world. Then we'll talk about a soccer player who had an affair with his sister-in-law that ended up being very public, and then had some other public thing where his poetry got read in court, and it is really funny and really bad and hysterical and sexual and weird. We'll talk about all that. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about something, 2 things very near and dear to my heart anyway, the mafia and serial killers. Those are... Yes, we're going to find out what's the deal with certain mafia guys that are actually serial killers that just happen to get lucky of, hey, I grew up in this is where I grew up, and I happen to be Italian, and I happen to be in this organization that values the one thing that I really, really want to do. It's fucking amazing. How do those worlds cross? We'll talk about all of that. Patreon.com/crime and sports, like I said. And if you just want to make a regular donation and get a shout out, you can do that as well over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. That said, damn it, Jimmy, who are the people? Who are the most wonderful people who would never, ever, ever bash our heads in with a shovel and then bury us alive? Hit me with that list, but not a shovel.
This week's executive producers are Corporal Carl Kirshner. See you in Wisconsin, Corporal Carl.
Beautiful. Well, by the time this comes out,
he's excited. He's excited about it. JB and Yeti Shetty in Canada, Regina Kudajaroff, Lisa Dutton, Brooke Crawford, Hunter Duchesne, and BJ Cyprian. She's new. She's an author, by the way, down in Texas. Thank you all so much for everything. Other producers this week are Peyton Meadows, Stacy Sengel, Captain Lou Albino, Barry Mark, and the Shitsteins. Amanda Granieri, Willis Tanya, giving it to us both ways. Beaver and Drunk Nicole, and also Baby Kit. Happy Hour checking in Panama City Beach, Florida. That's a terrible, that should be Panama Beach City. Shouldn't be Panama City Beach. That sounds gross.
It does sound a city
Panama
beach.
Yeah, Panama City Pool. That's vile. That's disgusting.
Yeah, Panama City Sewer. It doesn't sound good.
Morgan Dugan, Janice Hill, Chester Copperpot. You know who that is. That is Danny DeVito's character from Batman, correct? Yes. Right?
Copperpot. Yeah.
Nope, that's
right.
Oswald Copperpot. Who's Chester Copperpot?
Is that something from the Goonies?
Sure. Yes, it is. Is it? Is that?
No.
Yes.
I don't know.
One-Eyed Willie and Chester Copperpot. That sounds right.
Sounds
Oswald
right. That sounds like
Copperpot.
Jesus.
Christopher Hickey, Nashville. Steve Earle said hello.
Hey, beautiful.
I apologize, Chris. I didn't know that you were saying woo in reference to James's
way.
Woo.
Yeah.
I thought you were just being a drunk lunatic.
Yeah, wasn't even drunk. That was the funny part.
Yeah.
Totally sober and fine.
He's a sober, fun guy.
Met him afterwards. Nice guy.
Thanks,
Fine.
Chris.
Thank you.
Jimmie Secret Sauce Whisman, Jorge Madrano, Alex Hopper. He liked the J.R. Smith episode. Thanks, Alex.
Well, great.
Or she. Jesus, who knows?
Oh, either
I
way,
don't know.
Thank you.
Kinsley Colclisher. Nope, probably not. Sharon would know last name. Roman Jacobo. Darcy would know last name. Jimmy Lane. Cole would know last name. Katarina Fry. Hannah Govednik. Donna would know last name. Timothy Parker. Doug Kazor, I think. Jocelyn Gordon. Matt Ring. Mena Lloyd, Marty Fortier, Amy Ann, Hannah Bell, Kayla Counts, Brantley Clark, AJ Ostrins, Chris, you can fuck this up. Yes, I can. Stump. Danny Dyson, Georgia Caitlin, Keith with no last name, Danny Octavia, Helen Dubois, Mercury Muse, Tina Cook, Troy Natter, Holly Soden, Val Willett, Ariana Keller, Terry Tana, Lori Johnson, Corinne Hill, Keith Alden Baker, Mike Hodson, Brittany Hohoff, Parker Keenan, Yvette Juhas. Oh, boy. Hannah Garcia, Christina Hamlin, Kim Smith, April Schiavone, Eric Suchin, Jesse Shearer, Joe Crossley, Edward LeBlond, Andy Pagan, Julie Coda, Tina York, Robert Fuentes. Is that Fuentes? I may have written that wrong.
You were flowing so hard. Man.
I know. B and also a U. Thomas Giles, maybe. Jackson with no last name. Desiree and Andrew McKinney, Matthew Hansen, Abby Feek, Matthew Murphy, Kyle Garner, Brian McCauley. I wonder if that's related to that space lady. Maybe not. Jameson with no last name. Nicole with no last name. Bill with no. Sorry to bring up maybe the worst memory in your fucking life, Brian.
That's my mom. Jesus Christ. Sorry, bro.
Bill Space, and I called her Space Lady. Jesus.
Yeah, I can still see pieces of her sprinkling down to the ocean. That's horrible.
What a piece of shit.
God, I hope not. Now I feel even worse.
Amanda Dalton, Tiffany Aberflus, Alicia Ward, Louise Martinek, Haley Smith, Elizabeth Carpenter, Artley Goodhart. Oh, boy.
Good and hard.
Kyle Carter, Crystal Blaze, Blair Clark, Dominique Lieb, Daisy with no last name, Bobson Dugout, James, I can't pronounce it. Laura, that's how I'm going to pronounce every last name I can't pronounce. They're just, I can't pronounce it. Laura Klein, Courtney Eve, Sebastian Ann Betty, Kristen Taylor, Jeremy Wagner, Corey Engel, Slip Stitch, Corey with no last name, Jessica Rice, Jake Blank, Crystal with no last name, Maggie with no last name, Kelly Bosley, Creekside Custom Pavers Smith, Allie Linton, Jessica Stember, Beth Ann Carvin, David Evers, Zach with no last name, Colin Maxey, Elliot Reinston, Krista Mallory, Kelly Frederick, Mackenzie with no last name, Jack Blackwell. You were almost there to fame, you son of a... I'm sorry, Jack. Yeah. We already got one. Danielle Straughter, Connie Bonner, Layla with no last name, Azari Stevens, Samuel Carr, Kate Bauer, Luis Cerna, Project DQ, Adam Rowley, Dominic Forbes, Kyle M., Brandy Aubrey, Mackenzie McGuire, Taryn Malloy, Lim, Kotraba Hofer. Matthew Hickory Hansen, Nikita Weil, Jocelyn Whiting, yes, Frank, just Frank, Danielle Green, Afton Scott, Tariro M, Christine Lester, Liz Phillips, King Tiger Killer 415.
Wow.
Oh boy. Bray Breedlove, Bray maybe, it's probably Bree, I don't know. Ryan Wolf, Barb and Bob, Mother Tucker, Chris Zimmer, Stephen Hoff, Sammy Fitter? I can't pronounce this. Mark Frylock, Todd Beck, Julie McCullough, Francis, Kyle, that's Kelly. Kelly Y, Fred Shingles, Silent 113, Marlene Gainey, Megan Turner, Bailey Buchert, Sarah Garrison, Megan Higgins, Christina Park, Janet N, Brandy Weddle, Maddie Campbell, Jennifer Fix, I hope, J.R. Walters, Mimi Tucker, Kate Ann Chant, Clay Verdon, and also all of our patrons. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, so much from the bottom of our hearts for what you do for us, honestly. It's amazing, and it's incredible, and it doesn't go unnoticed, so Thank you. Thank you so much. You've changed our lives, and we appreciate it. Mm-hmm. If you want to follow us personally on social media, very easy. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. The links are right there to follow us, or just Google Small Town Murder Podcast Host, because we're the only fucking ones, I should hope, anyway. That said, keep coming back and seeing us week after week after week, because we're not going anywhere. No. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus